Play a slow song. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. Play a slow song. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna 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 turn it up and then I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down.
Evening, people. How are we doing? Friday night. Looking forward to the Spurs game tomorrow. Yeah, I think a few of us probably thinking should be down the pub, whatever. But you know what? I just cannot be bothered with down the pub anymore. Price of it for one thing, but then I just don't think it's one of them nights where I could handle a bunch of 18-year-olds out of it running around me or whatever. I'd probably get arrested for slapping one of them. But you know what? I was meant to be watching a film with the missus tonight. I said, cool. Let's watch a film then, Beth. She's like, my call? I'm like, okay, you're cool. She's like, well, we're watching this then. Okay, what one? Titanic. I'm like, no. She's like, well, I'm watching it. Well, fucking ain't. I'll go and do a show then. Go and do a show then. So, okay, here I am. So I thought I'd go do a show, have a drink in the process, and take it from there. But like, how am I watching Titanic again? I have seen that film way too many times. It does my head in after a while. I think about 50 times I've watched it with her now. So, well, Brentford tomorrow. That's definitely going to be an interesting one. Frank's ex-team. They're definitely going to have a point to prove. And yeah, so I'm just going to say hello to a couple of people quick, bring on the guests, and we'll just go with the flow from there, basically. Easiest thing to do on a Friday night. And big guy, big up, mate, Danny. Big up. Thanks for your voice of reason. I try to be open-minded. Some wouldn't say it's reason. No more kids. Totally agree, mate. No more bullshit. Many thanks. I hope your friends do listen to you. Yep, same, mate. Hope they do. Well, it's not all of them. It's a couple of them. We just can't afford to keep buying these fucking kids all the time. I mean, it's another thing we can go into. But I hope you're good, mate. I won't even try pronouncing your name. I'll just call you Karma. It's easy. You're late. No, mate, I'm not. I think I've only ever been late on here once. once. I don't do it. I don't like being late. It's an OCD problem I got. But big up to you too, mate. And what you're also saying here, good for you. At least you're going to do something productive. Laugh out loud. Watching Spurs is so frustrating. Yeah, I don't know what one's actually worse, watching Spurs or fucking watching Titanic. They both fucking do me head in. Go on then. If you have a question, mate, put it on here and you can call me Kamal. Yeah, that's easy. Right, if you put your question on there, I'll come to it, mate. Right. 1, 2, 3. How you 3, 2 doing? All good? Looking forward to the game tomorrow? I take that as a no then.
I don't know what you're talking about, Dan. Of course we are, mate.
Well,
it's very apt that Beth wanted to watch Titanic because that represents Tottenham's title hopes this season.
Sinking ship.
did we ever have any title hopes? I think is more the question there. But on a serious note, how you two doing?
Do you want to take that first, Benji?
I mean, I ain't really got too much to say. Absolutely fantastic. Loving life. Things are brilliant. I've just recently won the lottery. Life's good. How are you, Dan?
Well, I've done my lottery ticket, so let's hope they do come in. If they do, I'm about 100 million better off. But I've only ever won the lottery once in my life.
Remember me and Dave, your mates, 18. Yeah? Just so you know.
And that was when I was 18. I felt, how much was it I got out of that? About $7.5 grand, $7 grand, something like that. 6.5, $7 grand out of that. And when I was 18, that was like, I'd say the equivalent of about 15, 18, 20 grand now sort of thing. Paid off my flat for the year and a lot of going out. And when I say most of it went up the wall or in other places, it shouldn't have. It did, but it paid for my flat for the year basically. So, and that's what happens when you give 20 grand to a teenager. But Dave.
Big up, yeah. I'm the opposite to Benji. I'm hating life at the moment. It's absolutely miserable. Bills are going up higher than the income's going up. Everything's getting expensive. Social life seems non-existent. I'm a Spurs fan, and I turned 40 in 20 days.
Oh dear. Well, they say that's when life begins, mate. Don't worry about that. They say that's life begins. Go on now. I'll go with this question first. As soon as he's put a question in here earlier, I'll go with this question. My question is, would you rather watch Spurs play attractive, beautiful football and lose like 5 matches from 10, or watch Spurs play boring football but win 7 out of 10? Fair question. Go on. Either one of you want to take that one up?
Well, I'd sit there, come back with another question. Why can't we do both? Why can't we win football matches by playing well? You can do both. Obviously not for 50 games of a season. You'll have the odd few games we have to sit and scrape playing like a bit like what we did against Man United in the Europa League final. Right? We didn't play great. So I accept there'll be certain games where you can't play brilliant football, but I'd sit and pose the question: why can't we be an ambitious football club that wants to win football matches and play good football? We can do both. It's been proven in the past teams can do that. So I'd rather go for that. But if I had to pick one or the other, I'd say points on the board is more important than style. But I want both.
Fair point, Ben.
I don't even know how to answer it. Is there another option? Just go and support Real Madrid. Do you know what?
Honestly, too great this shit to be fair.
Oh, I know it's a bit weird. But they are like 15 on the table for Champions League trophies, so I'd like to be thereabouts. Do you know what? I think I'll go against the grain here. I think I'd rather win 5 and play attractive football, because here's the thing. Above all else, I want to be entertained by my club. And I know that's probably this answer would probably change tomorrow if I was in a better mood. But yeah, I'd go with entertaining football, winning 5 out of 10.
I think the other way you can change that question around a bit is the fact of basically it depends what you call attractive football. Now, I know there's the common attractive football as such, where everyone wants to see tip-tap, everything, all this and everything. If I'm going to be honest, football these days doesn't get played the way I used to love it, like 20 years ago. I don't think it's got the caliber of players to be able to play the way I used to like football. I just don't think the players are good enough to play that football anymore, or very lack of them. Whereas you go back 20 years, 25 years, you had players everywhere that could play attractive, good, sexy football, skill, flair, everything. You look at it now, and to me, it's a bit dead in some ways, if you ask me, compared to what it was. But I like football in the aspect of being able to hold back and do a fast counter attack. That's why I like playing with 3 at the back. Some would say 5 at the back, whatever. But that's what I like. I like being able to soak up what the other team's got and then in 3 passes have it up the other end of the pitch and have a goal. But
so let me ask you then,
like
Pochettino or Conte? What football do you prefer?
Well, for Spurs, Pochettino, but I don't mind Conte generally.
All day long.
But Pochettino was brilliant. But Dan, just following on what you said there, like you're basically saying that's what you like as a style. So this always gets me when they say good style of football, right? We in this country specifically, but generally in the football world, we've been hoodwinked and made to think an idea that Pep Guardiola plays the best style of football, where I'm against that myth. To me, attractive, good football to watch is goal mouth action. Okay, that's all I care about when I watch a game of football. 20 passes sideways, backwards, sideways, backwards, sideways, backwards is not attractive football to me. I'd much rather see a direct long ball that gets into the box and something happens. From an entertainment point of view, I want to see goal mouth action. If the football's played in the middle of the park, to me, it's not that attractive. So that's my point of view on attractive football. So stylistic football, I want to see goal mouth action. So I want to see Spurs in the opposition's 18-yard box as much as possible. To me, that's attractive football. I don't care how we get there, as long as we get there quite often.
I agree with what Kamal says here. In the aspect of Conte's first 6 months with Kula and Bentancur and everything, played very good football, I think, especially considering the team we had. It was actually good to watch. And I suppose it goes the same with every formation or every style you want to play. You've got to have the players that can play to that mentality or to that caliber, whatever way you want to put it. You got to have the players that can do that, basically. I mean, for me, I like fast counter-attacking direct football, basically. Soak it up what they got, 3 passes up the other end of the pitch in the back of the net. That's what I like watching. Whereas other people are quite happy having the ball lobbed up the other end and hit and hope. Other people are quite happy with gung-ho Ange football. Very lack of people just like out-and-out pragmatic football. And then I think a lot of it does come down to people want to see action in a game, basically. I mean, for me, I at least want to see my team try. It doesn't even have to put on a good performance as such. I mean, that Newcastle game, I don't even think we played good football. I think we had a terrible football game, but we actually showed a bit of fight in there. We actually got stuck into the game. We actually scraped a draw out of it, which I think we actually deserved that draw personally, yeah? Because I don't think Newcastle were great either, yeah? But I think football-wise, they were significantly better than us. But we got stuck into the game, and that's what I want to see. When we're not performing on the skill or how we're meant to do it and that, I want to see us get stuck into a game, basically, at least. And there's been a fair few games this season where we just haven't done that. But the Newcastle one, we did.
I mean, let's be fair. I mean, in all honesty, right, we are used to getting tanked by Newcastle. So getting a 2-2 result against them, because I personally consider them a bit of a bogey team for Spurs, the same way we are for Manchester City. So the fact that we got a 2-2 result, regardless of the performance, I thought was a bit of a touch. I'll say this much, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. I think as Spurs, 100%. I think as Spurs fans, what we want to see is, at the very least, effort and desire. If we see that, I've noticed this about Spurs fans. If the team shows, a bit of application and a bit of fight and desire, and we lose, Spurs fans are nowhere near as pissed off. It's the performances like Chelsea and Arsenal where fans lose their mind, which is completely understandable. But, for me, you are right. I fully agree with you. Newcastle was a bit of a shocker, but at least we showed some bollocks, right? There's at least that.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Newcastle game in isolation, you ignore everything else around the club and what's gone on before. That Newcastle game in isolation is absolutely fine. Tricky away fixture. You've gone out there, scraped a 2-2 draw against a good side, not playing that well. In isolation, that's absolutely fine. Pull it collectively in the last couple of months, it's just another bad performance amongst many others, right? But just to finish off on that stylistic piece, Dan, I think Liverpool are a prime example. like proving my point, if you like. So last season they won the league and they was much more direct because obviously Klopp's style of play was quite direct, high energy, high intensity. And Arne Slot, when he came in, he didn't change too much tactically. But he gave an interview at the end of the season, and obviously they brought loads of players as well, but gave an interview at the end of the season saying they want to have more control in games. They want to win games by more goals. And what that translates to is a lot of square passing, keeping hold of the ball without actually really doing much with it. And they're quite boring to watch now. And obviously their results are not that great. That's my point about what's better looking football is last season, direct, lots of goal mouth action, lots of goals, and it was successful. But Arne Slot's mind, better football is more controlled football, sideways passing to keep hold of the ball so the opposition doesn't have the ball. And I think that's just boring to watch personally. But in terms of Spurs, I absolutely agree with you with the Arsenal-Chelsea comment, Benji, because that was the straw that broke the camel's back for me. Those two games I'm kind of losing faith in football generally, but obviously I still watch Spurs as much as possible. But those two games, so the Chelsea one I watched, and I've never seen us so devoured of intensity and passion and aggression in a game against Chelsea in the last 10 years or so. We always had a bad record when I was growing up. As I say, I turned 40 at the end of the month. So I went through that big, long period.
Really bothering you, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah,
really bothering you, brother. Don't worry, mate.
But I've been through that period where we very, very rarely got a positive result against Chelsea. You know, they had a hoodoo over us. So I've seen the bad times, but the last 10 years, obviously specifically around Poch, but other managers as well, at least those games were proper derbies. You know, you had 7, 8 yellow cards in there, bad challenges, physical occasions in that game. It was a proper derby rivalry.
Like Battle of the Bridge, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. But that game I watched, we literally, be careful how I word this, but we basically opened the door and let the robbers come in and take whatever they liked. And didn't even report them to the police. You know, it basically do what you like to us. See, I use that analogy rather than the other analogy that I'm thinking of. Then, which you
take my 75-inch TV and everything and that, and do you know what? Fuck it, take my PlayStation as
exactly.
well, mate. You can have the lot.
Made them a cup of tea before they went as well. You know, it was such limp dick performances. I don't care if those players get abused, because if you sit there, wear that shirt against Chelsea and put in that performance, you deserve everything that's coming your way. You shouldn't be in the club. I would have ripped up their contracts there and then and said, don't ever play for this club again. To then follow it up against Arsenal. Now, bearing in mind, Arsenal are a lot better than Chelsea. They're a very good football team. I can say that, even though they're our footballing rivals. They're a great team at the moment. Boring to watch, but a bit like you like, Dan, the German efficiency, right? They've got a lot of that about them. They get the job done and very organised. But again, we followed up that performance against Chelsea with that effortless performance against Arsenal. 2 big derbies in a row. We've gone out there with no intensity, no passion, no aggression. And they've got the cheek to then sit there and get on the fans' back, calling us real fans or questioning whether we're real fans or not. Get the fuck. I'd kick virtually 90% of that squad out, pay them off, play the youth players for the rest of the season and take the hit that way and rebuild, because none of them, well, I say none of them, the vast majority of them are not fit to wear that shirt. A, they're not good enough, and B, they haven't got the bottle for the job either. I want players that are winners.
I agree with what you're saying. Yeah, I think that if you can't handle a booing on the pitch or told about when you ain't done it right and everything and that, I think you're in the wrong bloody job. Deal with it, man up, grow up here. I know a lot of people don't agree with that, but that's just my attitude in life, basically. Because at the end of the day, it's all good getting help and everything to fix problems in your football or in your life, whatever and that. But when it comes down to that crunch, it's only you that can do it. No one can do it for you. You need to be able to do things yourself. And all the players, for me, they seem to want all the praise and everything when they score the goals, when they have a good game and everything else and that. But then sort of bring on this timid little, I might get offended and everything if you boo me and that because they've been playing crap football. It's not the fact that they've even been playing crap football. It's just a lot of the times it looks like they haven't even put the effort in. And when that happens, I say boo them off the pitch all day long. Do I think booing a certain player does any favours? During the game, it's probably not going to do any favours. I agree with that. I wouldn't personally do it. Boom at half-time, okay, but boom at full-time, definitely. But then I do have the attitude again, right, you fucked up good and proper. You've got booed for it. Your fans have let you know about it. Deal with it. Get on with it. My attitude to that would be, all right, you pricks, you want to boo me? I'm now going to go and give it everything I've got and some to prove you lot wrong. But then I know there's a lot of other people in the world with a very different attitude who are fold up in the corner or take offence or whatever else. It's just where everyone's different in that basic way. That's what makes us unique, not just as Spurs supporters, but as people, I suppose. I mean, Ben, I'm going to come to a question that Matt asked in a sec, but just seeing as we was mentioning that quickly, I mean, how do you see it on that bit?
Yeah,
I mean, do you think the players take things too personal, or do you think they're too privileged?
I'll say this much. I mean, personally, I think Spurs players have been privileged for far too long. I think winning a winning mentality has got to come from the very top and filter down. You know, the example I give is look at someone like an Abramovich walked into Chelsea, walked into that dressing room and said, "This is how it's going to be. We win trophies here." Fantastic for me. I'd love someone like that at our club. As for the booing, I really, really disagree with booing during a game. I think that's wrong, especially specific players. And what confuses me a bit is, of all the players you pick to boo, it's Vicario. After the performances players like Richie have put in and so on and so forth. Are you serious? And then after the game, I hear fucking nonsense like, he's not a good keeper. He's not good enough for Tottenham Hotspurs. Excuse me? Vicario this season has saved us about 5 times. He's had some fantastic performances. Yes. I don't give a shit about this modern keeper bullshit. He's good enough between the sticks. He makes errors. I'll tell you what, he does make clangers. Go and watch a highlights reel of Manuel Neuer and the clangers he's dropped in his lifetime. It happens.
Oh, don't even compare them.
Hey, listen, am I comparing? No. Am I comparing? No. I'm simply stating a fact. He makes clangers.
Okay.
He makes clangers, and that's all. That's all it is.
So and what? Once in a blue moon. He's probably one of the best goalkeepers there has ever been on this planet.
And I'm not disputing that. I'm not disputing that. But a guy makes clangers. We've all seen it. And look, my point is this. This season, Vicario has saved us about 5 times with some world-class performances and some unbelievable saves. And he has one, a bad game, makes a silly decision, and you're booing him. Wait. It gets worse afterwards. This is what fucking blew my mind. Afterwards, he didn't shy away from it. He didn't fucking hide. He didn't have a go at the fans. He asked to go on Sky Sports and then Spurs TV to apologise and man up to it. If anything that demands respect, it's that for me personally. So, look, I agree with the booing after the game, but during the game, come on now. Who's that helping?
Yeah, I don't agree with you on that point about...
Do you think he got the stick because he turned around and switched on the players when it was blatantly his fault? Like every time he does fuck up, basically, he turns around and switches on the players when you can blatantly see it's him that screwed up. He does have a bad habit of doing that. He does have a bad habit of doing that.
He does. But a lot of keepers do it. You see it all the time. It's like a deflection tactic, I guess.
Yeah. It's the same as when they make a great save and they immediately get up and then scream at the defenders for letting a shot in. Like every goalkeeper does it. It's a in trade. But I totally agree with Benji's point. Not everything you said, but I agree with the point where you said that if we're going to boo any of our players, and Vicario would not be on top of that list. He's further down that list because you're right. There's a lot of games.
I can get that.
He's had a couple of games this season where he's been at fault, but most of the games this season he's been at top. But the brilliant way to look at goalkeepers when it comes to mistakes, and I agree with this sentiment 100%. The best top. Every single goalkeeper makes a mistake. Every single one of them. The best goalkeepers in the world all the way down to the bottom. Yeah. Right? But the very best goalkeepers do not let that affect them the next time they get involved, whether it's be the next shot, the next cross, or the next game in general. The best goalkeepers move on, get on with it. The bad goalkeepers let it beat them up and they swallow them up and then they make more mistakes and get worse. That I always agree with that sentiment about goalkeepers. I grew up as a goalkeeper up till the age of about 12. I was decent level. I was on Charlton.
No, I remember. I used to play in goal as well, wouldn't it?
They let me go for being too small, the bastard. So absolutely.
Well, that's what they did with me as well, wouldn't it? On the Kent trials.
Boys, you were both just shit. All right, enough of the small bollocks. Come on.
No, that's why they actually turned me down on the Kent trials. You were short of me.
I nearly went pro.
Yeah, I've got a lot of sympathy for goalkeepers. I understand the position. I understand how lonely it is. And I agree with you, Benji. If we're going, you can have your own thoughts on booing players generally, but if we're going to boo anyone, Vicario's near the bottom of that list. There is about 15 players that I'd boo ahead of Vicario. And not just boo, I'd sit there and walk onto the pitch, drag them off, take their shirt off and say, don't ever step foot in our club again, you're crap.
Yeah.
Vicario is something perfect either.
It is a fair point. I mean, Vicario for me, it's one of the things I've got down. So as soon as we're talking about him, we might as well talk about him before we have to talk about Brentford and that. I mean, Vicario, there's a lot of rumours going about him at the moment that he could be leaving in January. And Inter Milan are meant to be one of the main ones looking at him. Now, Vicario, I think personally, he's one of the top 3 shot stoppers in the Premier League. I think he's an excellent shot stopper. Spur of the moment. No time to think. Reflexes. I think he is quality. When it comes to everything else, when the man has to use a brain cell or two, he's in trouble. When he has to think about things, he's in trouble. When it comes out to catching a ball, he don't command his area. When everyone's up the other end of the pitch, you hear him screaming and shouting him all the time. But as soon as it comes into his own box, he shuts up. He don't tell no one what's going on. Or he'll do some crazy punch out that goes directly to... This is where, as an overall keeper, I just don't rate him. I did at first when we got him and everything and that, and I think he started off a lot better with us than he ended up. But I think what happened with him is he actually got found out. And when people realised, right, muscle him up a little bit, he can't handle the shit and everything, then everyone started doing it. And then they based that was one of the things they sussed out with us. Because he can't even handle a bit of physicality. Not that the other players exactly helped him. He can't even hand someone muscling him up on the bloody goal line. You know, in that aspect, he's not a good goalkeeper. Shot stopping and goalkeeper, it's just part of being a goalkeeper. These days, being a goalkeeper, you've got to be able to do so much more because it's about being a sweeper keeper. Is that fair on a goalkeeper? Maybe not, but it is what it is, and that's the way you've got to play these days. And I just think on so many things, he's very, very limited. But when it just comes to out-and-out reflex shot stopping, I think he's one of the best around. I mean, for me, I'd quite happily let him go in January, depending who we're looking on getting. Now, if we're just going to get rid of him and then play Kingsky, no thank you. The one I would want us to go for is a proper goalkeeper, who I would say, Diego Costa, Porto. 50, 55 mil, go get him. In my opinion, twice the overall keeper of what Vicario is.
I'm going to be really honest. I don't agree with any of this modern goalkeeper bullshit. I think their first and only main concern should be between the sticks. I don't care if a goalkeeper can't fucking lacro Keta and rainbow flick someone. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are certain levels of, you know, can you pass the ball to him? Can he pass it back out? You know, providing that, because listen, Lloris was terrible at that, truly terrible. That and his distribution. But with Vic, he's at least competent enough to be able to do that. Admittedly, sometimes he gets himself caught out a bit, but again, you see keepers do that all the time. You see keepers like Alisson, he gets the same thing, and he's really good with his feet. I just don't agree with all this modern goalkeeper bullshit. I think it's a passing fad. Just my opinion. It's not a passing. You know what? It'll go round in a circle, like football does, like fashion, like music and everything else, and then it'll come back on itself. Like with the style of football that's being played now, it's also come back on itself of like a certain amount of time ago as such. Because we are playing a different way now to how you were seeing it 4 or 5 years ago as such. Football does that. But like it or lump it, that is part of being a goalkeeper now. Deal with it. You've got to be able to do it. Whether it's fair or not, or whether it should be like that. So explain to me a modern goalkeeper in your eyes.
A modern goalkeeper these days, in general, overall, I would say has to be a sweeper keeper because there's so much more he needs to be able to do. If anything, he needs to be able to do what a defender used to be able to do. Now, defenders have to do what midfielders used to do, sort of thing, because it's pushed up more. A goalkeeper these days has to be able to come significantly off his line, cover those defenders that have pushed up a bit. He has to be half decent on his feet and be able to pass the ball, have a good delivery on him, and he hasn't got none of it.
So in your opinion, you've never seen Vic come off his line, and you've never seen Vic, and you don't think he's half decent with his feet.
I think he's goddamn awful with his feet.
So tell me why. What are you expecting from him to do with his feet?
I'm at least expecting him to be able to control the ball and on a regular basis be able to pass that ball, not 1 time out of 10. With his feet, he's fucking awful. He's terrible. It shouldn't be like that, but that is what a majority of goalkeepers need these days. That's the way people play. It's just the way it is, whether people like it or not. And whenever he has to think about something, it doesn't usually go right for him. With him, he's a very spur of the moment reflex sort of thing. And I think he's excellent at what he does. But then the rest of it, there's definitely a lot to be desired. But I don't think he's a priority that we need to get rid of yet. I think there's other players that need to go before him, if I'm being honest.
Fair play. Look,
Yeah, I'd like to get rid of him. But... Go on,
Dave, chime in, Dave. Do you think Vicario is bad with his feet? Or do you think he's at?
He's never struck me as bad with his feet the same way he's never struck me as being good with his feet. You know, he's kind of just what you'd expect for a goalkeeper. But, you know, at the end of the day, he needs to learn how to pass to the defenders so they can pass it sideways 300 times in a game, you know. That's the modern day goalkeeper, right? Because, let's face it, everyone pays nearly £100 to go watch a game of football these days to watch the defenders have the ball at their feet. That's what we all grew up loving about football. But I agree with your last point, 100%. I would not like to upgrade Vicario, but there's a lot of other players we need to upgrade first. Like, I wouldn't say start of that. I think my internet might be a little...
When you go by that way sort of thing, that's where you look at other players we need to get rid of. And I think Richarlison comes a lot higher. I mean, I'd put him in like blocks, basically. I'd say he's in the 3rd block. He's one that, yes, I think we need to get a better goalkeeper overall, but I don't think he's one of the priorities we need to get rid of yet. My priorities come down to the things like Richarlison, basically. Get Johnson out that fucking team, especially now. Now we are not playing to Johnson's favours, which we did under Ange.
Well, giving him tap-ins at the back post.
Basically, yeah. Now we're not giving him that. It just looks pretty irrelevant that he's even on the pitch. I mean, it's not as though he bloody delivers or performs in anything else, is it? But
yeah, do you know the thing with Vicario, before you move on that, you know, like we say, there's other positions that we should prioritise, and I totally agree with that. But sometimes an opportunity comes up to upgrade, and it might not be your priority upgrade, but an opportunity may come up. What about that James Trafford on loan for the rest of the season from Man City? Because he needs game time to get in the England squad. Would you reckon he's an upgrade, I guess, is my question. And obviously, if it's a loan, it's not going to cost lots of money.
I haven't seen enough of him to judge it. I can't really judge that one because I haven't seen enough of him. Only seen him play, twice? I really can't judge that one fairly. You
want to replace Vic with Trafford?
No, I asked the question.
Oh, sorry.
I didn't put my own opinion on it. I'll do that at the end.
Sorry.
It's just that he's a goalkeeper that would be available for little money come January. So if you did want to upgrade Vicario, would you consider that an upgrade?
No. What? No. We fucking... It really
good enough for Man City to buy him.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but it baffles me. You know, Jesus fucking Christ! Think of all the performances Vic's had this. No, it's not you, Dave. It's
that's
crap. I mean, you're in about, and it fucking mind boggles me.
Yeah.
Think of all the outstanding performances Vic has had this season alone. The outstanding performances. And he makes one major error. And we're having conversations about replacing him with Trafford, for fuck's sake. What are we doing here, lads? What are we doing here?
I'm not saying do it, basically. I haven't seen enough of the other player to do it.
I'm sure there's plenty of people that would say, yeah, absolutely.
And I'm sure there's plenty that say no as well. I think we need to go out and, for me, a goalkeeper, if you want a winning team, I think a goalkeeper is one of the prime parts of that team you've got to have. Because a goalkeeper can save you anything from 10 to 15.
Goalkeeper and a striker. Goalkeeper and a striker wins your leagues.
Yeah, very true.
We've got very average at both.
Yes, that one I agree with.
The average strikers, Dave?
I'm being polite.
Moana, he still ain't scored in the Premier League, has he? But we're starting to see progress there. We're starting to see that there is a player there, basically. And
I know we're going off topic,
It's all right.
You've just mentioned Moani, right? I had a bet on the PSG game, so I've done a bet builder. This is how much the bookies rate Moani. He was almost double money to have a shot at goal, not on target, to have a shot.
Fucking hell.
And he's
Really?
the striker. You could have got double your money. It's like 4 to 5 on.
Shit.
And that's the bookie. He ended up having 2 on target, to be fair, that game. But yeah,
No, I
that's
think
how
he
much
scored. He scored and got assist, didn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, is he an out-and-out striker? I don't think he's an out-and-out striker, but I think he's got very good ball control. I think he's very strong on the ball. I think he's quite strong off the ball, sort of thing. But I don't think he's your out-and-out goal scorer that you'd put there and look for 20 goals as such. But I think you'll get a lot more out of him in other sides as such. I mean, do I think he's better than Solanke and Richarlison? Let's just say it's not fucking hard. There's not exactly much to fight against there, if we're going to be honest.
Yeah.
Even though I do know Spurs supporters who sit there and start saying that Richarlison's been very good this year.
Do you know who our best strikers are at the club? We've got 2 of them. We've got 2 really good strikers. Well, I'd say they're really good strikers. They're our best 2 strikers at the club. Mickey van der Ven and Christian Romero.
Why didn't I think of that?
Now, argue with that point. Are they better strikers than Richarlison, Solanke, etc.? Because I think they are.
I mean, you got to
play up top.
I mean, you all know my opinion on Romero. I mean, I think he's a very overrated player in my opinion. Yeah. On his day, I think he's absolute quality, but he just don't have enough of them games. He's too inconsistent, whatever else. But fuck me, that diving header he put in, mate. I don't think I'm exaggerating when I'm saying that was a world-class goal.
Yeah.
I mean, that overhead kick he done, I don't think I've seen a sloppier, dirtier, messier, disgusting, poor overhead kick in my life. But it went in the back of the net, so who gives a shit? I mean, it was so slow. I think that's what caught the other team out. My mate Dietrich said, he said he reckons it was just hit that poor and slow that it sort of caught everyone out of
the FIFA community among us will know the terms a P roller. Yeah, that was impressive. Look, do you know what? With our strikers, I'll say this much. I feel like, Solanke, I feel, is a little bit underrated. All right. He came in his first season, he scored 16 goals for us. You say what you want. He scored 16 goals for us. He only played 28, I think. And he played in a system and a formation that just did not necessarily formation. He played in a system that didn't fit him. He was being asked to drop back way too much. I'm not going to make a thing of that. That's just my little point on him. And then you've got Moani. So Moani has not played proper football in about 6 months. So, and the thing is, you've got to think back over Moani's career. He ended up at PSG, which was a terrible move for him because at the time they had Kylian Mbappe, and you're not going to put anyone else on the planet in front of Kylian Mbappe. So that was just a poor move on his part. So he's not played a massive amount of football. And I do think a fully fit, a fully sharp Kolo Muani gives you quite a lot up front. However, moving swiftly on to Richarlison. Fellas, let me ask you a question. Week in, week out, does Richarlison bang in goals in the Championship? I want to know where his level is, boys. Does he bang in goals in the Championship? Seriously. It's a question.
I don't think he'd survive in the Championship. I think the Premier League's actually easier for him than the Championship. The Championship is that much more physical, probably one of the most physical leagues on the entire planet, basically. Twice as physical as the Premier League, if not 3 times as physical, in my opinion. Especially when you're playing against teams like Millwall and stuff like that and everything. Yeah. And you're telling me Richarlison's going to go into that league and play it when he can't even stand up for more than 5 minutes.
So hold on. So what are you trying to tell me, mate? We've got a League One standard striker playing at Tottenham Hotspurs in the Premier League. Is that what you're telling me, mate?
Mate, I do not think he could handle that league. I think it's a bit of a poor league to compare him to as such.
The irony is he's going to start for Brazil at the World Cup.
You are joking me.
It's like sticking him up in Scotland. I can't imagine him playing up in the Scottish league either, because that's a proper dirty little pub league as well, sort of thing, isn't it? Very physical in that aspect, where the skill ain't there. They take your kneecaps right out. And in that aspect, I think Richarlison would probably be better off in somewhere like, possibly Italy or Spain, where it's a bit less physical. I mean, Italy does crunch up a bit at times in that, but I'd say Spain is probably one of the less physical ones. It's more on flair, skill, whatever else, and I know he hasn't got that either. But I think he'd survive there better than in the Championship. I think he'd get killed in the Championship.
So is Richarlison the biggest criminal in world football to date? How has that man been in top flight football and been Brazil's number 9 for so very long? Makes very, very little sense to me. Can someone explain how he's wrangled that, please?
Easy, because Brazil are shit. Simple as that. If you want to go back and name some of Brazil's players now, and then you want to go back and name like when they had the triple R up front, like Ronaldo, Rivaldo, and Ronaldinho, when they had Roberto Carlos, when they had Cafu on the team, and the list goes on, yeah. And then you look at the bullshit they've got there up there now, and Richarlison's their main man up there. I think that just about says the situation that they're in on why he does. When he's been in the Premier League,
The one thing
like for Everton, he wasn't too sad, but he didn't exactly play as a striker. I just think for us, I think he's a priority that needs to go. He really needs to go.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Ancelotti really likes him and really rates him. And Ancelotti's no mug when it comes to it. The one bit of defence I will give both Richarlison, I'm not going to say they're good or bad. The one bit of defence I will give Richarlison and Solanke is they're both strikers that thrive on crosses, and they play for a team that does not provide crosses. So that's just one bit of defence I will give them. We do not play to either of their strengths. Do I think they're good enough? No. But if we have got them as our strikers, at least play to their strengths and put crosses in the box for them. We don't do that. Both our current manager and our last manager did not put... Well, I say Ange didn't put crosses in the box. He liked to put crosses in the box, but they're usually low crosses. They weren't high crosses where they're both good in the air, headed crosses, right? But yes, that's my only bit of sympathy for them. They're not good enough. Solanke, if he was in our squad, he would be ideally our third choice striker. We'd have 2 better than him. Richarlison, there's certain things I like about him in the sense that he will come on and ruffle feathers for 20 minutes. But
he gives it his all. I can't take that away from him.
Hold on. Are you saying Richarlison over Solanke?
No, I'm saying Solanke would be my third choice, and we'd have 2 better strikers. If we're playing one up front, Solanke would be my third choice. Because I don't think you can have 3 world-class starting strikers in your squad. So the third one would be a drop-off. Richarlison, I sit there. I would keep in the squad if we paid him like a tenner a week. And it was like, we had 5 minutes to go against Arsenal and we're 4-0 down. I'd send him on to go break some legs. Like, that's all I'd have him in the squad for. Go and give him an elbow. He's been winding us up all game. But I wouldn't bring him on for footballing reasons.
No,
but I also don't think we play to their strengths either. So I think it's slightly unfair on them. But I don't think they're good enough anyway.
It's something we haven't done for a while now. I feel we're still doing some of the same mistakes, just in a different way of not playing players to their caliber, basically. I mean, so on the tactics side of it, I mean, we've gone from one manager who's so set and old school in his way that he weren't willing to change it, and if anything, it was the players that had to change it for him. To another manager who I thought, he knows a couple of formations, he tries a couple of different things, whatever, and that he'll adapt to games. But we've gone from one immense to another. Now, when I say adapting to a game sort of thing, you don't necessarily have to change the formation every fucking time. Some games, maybe, but usually it's just you have to adapt 1 or 2 players sort of thing. We just seem to be going from one extreme to another. We've gone from a manager that just it's one way and one way only to another manager who's trying about 3, 4, 5 different ways. And I'd say the only one that seems to we've looked half decent is probably when we've done the 4-4-2 or 4-2-2-2, whatever you want to call it. So tactics wise, I think he's been all over the fucking place, if I'm going to be honest with Frank. And I think we look just as bad at the moment as we did under Ange. And if we keep playing the way we have played, we can easily end up in anything from 12th to 15th, which isn't a good thing, because I think we have looked absolutely shocking at times. Good at certain points, and we was looking okay, but I mean, for me, what tactics has he got to use tomorrow? I mean, we're playing Brentford and we're at home, for fuck's sake. We should be happy that we're at home, but this has got to be the first time I'd say I'd rather play like we've got the game against Liverpool, I'm actually happy we're playing them away.
Dan, in our last 4 Premier League games, we didn't have a shot on target in the first half of any of those games.
Yep.
That's how we get sent out. And the football is dreadful. However, so's our quality of squad. So I don't really expect anything more than a mid-table season anyway. And that's what Thomas Frank is serving up. So we are what we are, mate.
Yeah, he's serving up pub grub, isn't he, basically?
Yeah. And to be fair to Frank, I think Frank's a very clever individual that he made a very bad mistake the other day when he referred to us as proper fans.
Yes.
Yeah. He made a very bad, and I thought very amateurish mistake. But then again, you remind yourself he's actually not been a manager for years and years and years. You know, Brentford was only his second managerial job, with the other one being a brief stint in Denmark. So managerial-wise, he's actually not as experienced as.
If you want to jump on, Alex, message me. Go on, Dave. Sorry, I was just telling Alex.
Yeah, that's fine. But the one thing I do find with Frank, and this is probably more historically with him over his time at Brentford, is he learns and he adapts. So if we're still playing like this next season at this point, then obviously I'd hope he'd have already been sacked by then. But based on if he was carrying on this way, by the way, I hope he don't get sacked, because hopefully he turns it around and we're playing good football. But I think he learns and adapts. And I think what he's doing at the moment is working out what he can and can't do with this team. He's realised that the squad's quite limited, and therefore our football's a little bit limited because of that. I think once we get better players in and get rid of some of the deadwood, I think he will play a bit more, play less pragmatic, be a bit more entertaining football. When I say entertaining, shots on goal would be a start.
Or a shot would be a start.
Yeah. But he's a proper old school manager with modern ideas. And what I mean by old school is, you mentioned it at the very start of this stream, Dan. You start building a championship winning team from the back. You have to stop conceding goals first, and then you work out how to score goals. Most traditional managers through the course of history would tell you the same. Clean sheets win titles, goals win games. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's why most of it is that spine through the middle of the team. The defensive solidity needs to be set up first, and then you can sit there and improve the attacking part of the team as it grows and it gets better, and you get better players in there. So I kind of see what he's doing. And if we go back, you can go back to, I've not been on many streams, but if you go back to the stream when we first got Frank on, I said we're going to be in for a very painful first 6 months under this manager. Because he's going to sit there and do the basics right first, and that means going back to square one, and that's what we're going through now. So I don't sit there and go, "Oh, this is awful, get him out." I sit there and go, "I expected this. I also know our players are not good enough. This is what I'd expect." Barring the Chelsea and Arsenal game where we didn't put the effort in, those were unacceptable for any Tottenham team. But the other side of it, the sort of pragmatic approach, making us better defensively. Attacking wise, we're going to suffer a little bit in the interim. I'm not surprised by that. And as long as he keeps getting better and better and better, then I'll stick by him and give him the support as a fan. The moment I sit there and say, what we see now is what we're going to see in 12 months, and I would sit there and kick him out of the club ASAP. But I think he's just going through this process, and it will change over time with Thomas Frank. I don't think he's going to sit there and this is his way forward for the rest of his time at Spurs. I think it's just what we're going through at this point.
Basically, he's on at the moment, and hopefully when that comes off, you become a better person as such. And I agree with what Luke's saying. I think we look worse defensively. I think we're shit defensively now, and we look worse attacking. I do think there is times where I think we have actually looked better defensively, like the first, let's say, 3 games maybe. I think there's been times we've actually looked worse under Frank than we did under Ange at times, and for me, he's got a better team now.
Yeah, listen, our last 5.
He's got that back 4, and I don't think it's the greatest back 4 ever, because 2 of them are defenders. The other 2 ain't even fullbacks, they're bloody wingbacks, for God's sake. We've gone and got Paulinho, which we all screamed we needed that DM for to cover that role, basically. We've made improvements on the pitch with Kudus. Yes, the squad needs massive improving, I know that. But I think he has actually got a better team than what Ange did. How has he made our defence look worse at times and our attack worse at times? But then again, we are one of the top 5 goal scorers as well, aren't we? It's a bit of a fucked up situation.
It's a weird stat, the goal scoring one, because if you look at the stats apart from goals, attacking wise, we're one of the worst. But our goal conversion from our shots, the amount of shots we have, is the best. Basically, we score every time we shoot, but we very rarely shoot. Is the problem. And to be fair, Dan, you're absolutely spot on. Well, that comment was spot on about defensively. Our last 5 games in the league, and PSG as well. Sorry, we've conceded 2 goals, 2 goals, 2 goals, 3 goals, and 4 goals, and 5 goals. So last 6 games, sorry, we haven't conceded less than 2 goals in the last 6 games. So it's got bad lately. But you know what I think that is? And I think it's these players, again, there's probably some of them that have lost a bit of faith in Frank, and they've down tools. And they're sitting there waiting for him to get sacked. Yeah. It's the modern day footballer. As soon as they don't get their own way, they'll sit there and just throw the towel in, because they'll see out the manager. Players last longer than managers.
Yeah,
so,
it's when they're all little bitches, in my opinion. Do you know what? I'll come to that point in a sec.
Go on. I jumped in there.
Then with the tactics and everything, what we've been doing, how it has been going, and what has he got to do tomorrow?
I mean, realistically, you'd say what he's got to do tomorrow is take the reins, show some dominance. That's what you'd expect him to do. However, with Frank, I don't even know where to begin. Look, listen, I'm very firmly in the corner of we shouldn't even be discussing about him being fired. And I know that's going around. I think Frank's biggest problem at the moment is he hasn't got anything in the bank. And what I mean by that is he's not won any major trophies, any major titles, which I feel is a big, big issue. And people say, I feel like he's lost the dressing room. There's a very good chance he may have never had the dressing room in the first place. Maybe he's one of those managers that needs to earn the players' respect. And at the moment, look, it's a different way to look at it. It may not be the right way, but it's a different perspective. Look, at the moment, I think there is a lot of trial and error going on. I think, Frank's been at a club for 9 years, 10 years. He's got a brand spanking new crop of players. I think he's trial and error in everyone. He's trying to figure out what we're capable of, what we're not capable of. I mean, people have complained, he 1 minute it's, we need a manager who can adapt. And then the next thing it's, oh, God, we've got a manager that adapts too much. Fucking
but it is one extreme to another. It's not like we've got an in-betweener here. We've gone from one extreme to the other.
But we knew what we were getting. Essentially we knew what we were getting. So I understand that point. But honestly, Dave hit the nail on the head. The only thing I would say is this with Thomas Frank. Dave said 6 months. I don't think you will see the real Thomas Frank team for about 2 years. Whether or not he gets that, I very much doubt it. But Frank is a builder. He is not a win now manager. He again, like I said, he's got no credit in the bank. He's not won any major titles. So for me, Frank is a builder. And right now, I think his main aim is to steady the ship. Don't get me wrong. I'm not one of these Spurs fans that will not have an ounce of criticism for him, because there's been a few games, Dan, where me and you have said to each other, fucking hell, what was he doing there? But I get it. People make mistakes, But for me, with Thomas Frank, I feel like as a club, we're going to have to suffer for a year, maybe even 2, before we start seeing, the fruits of this crop. And again, he's had 1 transfer window as well. But you cannot start screaming for a manager who's been at Tottenham fucking Hotspurs for 4 months. Listen, look at it this way, right? We've just lost a tyrant in Daniel Levy. And what you're seeing right now with the current crop of players is the fumes left behind his wake. So what were people expecting? Daniel Levy to finally leave and bless us with his exit, and Frank to come in and we start winning fucking titles? I don't know.
Ben,
go on.
Do you think that Frank is sort of fucked if he doesn't, fucked if he don't, basically, because he don't play this Spurs way that I keep debating with people, which I'd love to know what the Spurs way is. Yes, people tell me it's flair, it's going forward and that. But when I did it up earlier, over, say, 60 years, it's sort of like been 30 years we've played that, 30 years we haven't played that. If anything, over the past 10 years, you can say we have played a very inconsistent style of football, basically. It's got, again, it's Spursy. One extreme to another, then to another. And we've got players in that are now ready for the previous manager.
Yeah.
But we've now got this manager who now plays a total different way to the other fucking manager. And then he goes and we get another manager in. But now we've got the players who's now was ready for that manager, but not this manager's style and that. Do you think he's sort of screwed if he doesn't, screwed if he don't? Because he's just in general, when he plays his way, Ben, he's going to be a much more pragmatic. To me, he's going to be a poor man's Conte in that aspect, because overall he is a much more pragmatic style of manager. I got no problem with that. But a majority of Spurs fans, I think, they're just not going to accept that no matter what, unless it wins something, and even then still complain about it because they want to see attractive football, a sexy football. Whatever someone calls sexy football, it's each their own. Some like blonde hair, blue eyes. Some like black hair, brown eyes. Some like light skin. Some like dark skin. Whatever turns you on at the end of the day. But I don't think it's going to work in his favour for the way he plays, full stop.
I think you hit the nail on the head.
An amount of fan base.
Yeah, no, mate, you've hit the nail on the head, 100%. However, whether or not it's with the fans, I couldn't tell you. But all I do know is this. Vinay Venkatesham seems to have the reins of Tottenham Hotspurs. And he's a very patient man. And apparently, from what I read, Vinay was the reason why Arteta was giving so much time. Whether that's true or not, I don't know, but I've read it. And if that is the case, Frank will get, hopefully, an adequate amount of time. Because I still think he is a good manager, regardless of what's going on at Spurs at the moment. But all I know is this. Let's all remember here, people. When Arteta took over at Arsenal, they hated him for 3 years, and their football was dog shit. And then lo and behold, look what happened. A bit of time, some investment, which hopefully what we're going to bring in, and then who knows where we can end up. Go on, Dave, hit me. What you got?
No, I just want to touch on this. Can you remember how shit we were under Pochettino's first 6 months?
Yes, I do. Yes. And Harry Kane saved his fucking ass with that free kick, brother. I do.
I'm not sitting there saying Thomas Frank is the new Pochettino before anyone jumps on me in the comments. I'm just saying the first 6 months of Pochettino was absolutely awful. He had to get rid of an entire set of dross players who were bad apples in the squad. He had to go through that process. So it does take time with any manager, and Arteta as well is proving that at the moment. As much as he is an odious little rat, he's doing well. But I think whatever manager we get in, Dan hit the nail on the head when it sits there and goes, we can't keep chopping managers because we've got the players for the last manager every single time, right? So whatever manager we do go with, we need to stick with them for a bit. And as I say, I'm quite okay to stick with Frank, and I don't think it should even be spoken about these up for the sack, because I always knew these first 6 months were going to be painful. And I think you'll start seeing the green shoots the more transfer windows you get. So after January, we should be a little bit better. And then come next season, I expect to see a much better first 6 months of the season than we've seen now. That being said, I think results-wise are what I'd expect over the course of the first bit of the season that we've done so far. Individual results you can sit there and debate about, but generally speaking, I think we've got as much points on the board as I would expect this squad to have.
I can see where you're coming from. Let me ask you. Let me put a question to you two then. Yeah. Me personally, I think it's a fair question. I know others won't, and that. Yeah. I'm very on the fence with this one. In the aspect of do we keep him, do we get rid of him and that? Because I must admit, there's a lot I'm seeing in him at the moment where I think I might have got it wrong, or it looks like I got it wrong. That he's a good coach, whatever. I don't think he's a bad coach, but I must admit what I'm seeing at the moment, I'm very skeptical of whether he's just going to be able to handle this shit. I just generally, I don't know. I know nobody can sit there for a fact and say whatever, but some people are definitely more set in their way whether he can or can't. I just don't fucking know. I really don't know. And at the moment, I must admit, there is not a lot that's impressing me. Stick with the manager to at least the end of the season. He needs windows. I get this, I get that. I'll make people right on that. But then there's another side to look at it. What do you do when you are ill, when you're not well? Yeah? I think most of us sit there. What do?
Try and beg for 2 weeks.
You know you got this virus coming up. So what do? Do you go to the doctor and get the steroids or whatever you need to fix it, or just to be told it's man flu or whatever else and that, yeah? Or do you just ride it, hoping it will go away, but then realising that after 2 weeks it ain't getting better and you're now in hospital, not seeing the doctor? Do you see where I'm coming from?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a great question for most people, Dan, but I'm going to give you an answer that doesn't actually answer that, because I sit there and don't take any antibiotics or anything like that when I'm ill. The most I'll take is maybe a paracetamol if I've got a really bad tooth or earache. That's about it. Never take anything when I'm ill.
God, mate.
All I do is I train my Adonis body to sit there and deal with it itself like nature intended.
Obviously.
Okay, fair enough. But
can I just say, do you think we're asking these questions? Fucking Adonis body. Oh, guys, if you only knew what he looked like, if he whipped that t-shirt off, you'd all feel so fucking insecure. Do you know what? Do you think we're asking these questions because Frank hasn't got any credit in the bank?
I think that can have something to do with it as well. For me, he has got some sort of credit in the bank. I don't think it's just necessarily fair, but then I'm the first one to say it's a dog-eat-dog world and life ain't fair. And it is what it is. I don't think it's quite fair that a manager gets judged because he hasn't won anything. I mean, how's he meant to win anything when he's been at fucking Brentford? But then the job he did at Brentford, you can't really fault him because he managed to get them up. Fine, he didn't win the championship, but he got them up. And then from the moment he got them up, if I remember right, they never even touched the bottom three. He done a very good job there. Yeah. So I think the only way you can see if that manager has got it as such is he goes up to a bigger club. And then it either works or it doesn't work, basically. And then that's where you start seeing of what potential the manager's got, basically, in that aspect. So I don't think it is just fair that you judge like, well, he hasn't got anything, he hasn't won anything, whatever else. But in that aspect, it is the way it is. And it's like with what you say, Ben, like when he comes into the dressing room, has he got the respect straight away? Quite possibly not off a few players, I think. Because Conte walks in, Klopp walks in, Pep walks in. Even if Mourinho walked in and he's past his sell-by date, players are sitting there with respect straight away. Frank walks in, he's definitely not getting the same respect that the others would be getting. Yeah. So with what I said to you, what do? Do you just ride it out and then end up even more ill and go to the fucking hospital, or do you go see your doctor? Do we realise, do the board sit on this and say, look, this just ain't working? We don't think he's got the calibre of doing it. Get rid of him now, get someone to cover it until the end of the season. And what a lot of us don't want to do is start again. Now, I'm not saying do all this. This is just questions I'm asking because a lot of people have got a lot of different opinions on this. And so do we do what Roma did last year? Right, it weren't working, manager out. Weren't working, manager out. Next manager came in, started rolling, and look at where they are now. They're looking actually pretty good. And towards the end of last season, they look fucking good. And or do we just ride him basically, or do we end up just sticking with him and then ending up basically in hospital, basically where it's fallen to shit even more? I know we don't know, but what is the way you think we should do it?
Can I caveat that with a question and then an answer? Before Frank was at Tottenham Hotspurs, and this is to both of you, before Frank was at Tottenham Hotspurs, did both of you think he was a good manager?
I thought he was a good coach, yeah. I thought what he'd done at Brentford was a respectable job.
What were you impressed with by him?
I like the way that he'd managed to take control of a small club as such and make him into, I wouldn't say a force, but a regular team in the Premier League. Never took them down, never even got them into the bottom three with the sort of players that he had. The question I asked with something like that, would Pep Guardiola be able to go and do that at Brentford? Now everyone's going to come on me. Pep's done this, Pep's done that, Pep's done this. Yeah, at Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and fucking Man City, okay. And with the big players and whatever, you need to have the right stuff, and he's an excellent manager, whatever else than that. But could managers like that go and do it at places like Brentford is the question I ask. It's something we'll never know. So I think he deserves credit in the bank for what he did at Brentford. I think he's a good coach. I think he's adaptable, but I think he's adapting too fucking much. And but what do we do?
So the reason why I asked you that, sorry, Dave, the reason why I asked you that was this, right? So I was also impressed with Thomas Frank. I thought the way, he adapts and carves out game plans for individual games, I thought was fucking fantastic. The way he improves players, because you got to think, Mbeumo, a few years ago, Tony, who a few years ago. So he gets hold of players and he makes them better. So there are two major things for me that I think is huge. Given that fact, I say he deserves time because of that fact. Because if he wasn't at Tottenham Hotspurs, you'd have called him a very good, reliable manager who is capable of adapting and improving players, which is something you want at every fucking club. I think that's a couple of brilliant traits to have. So all I would say is this: give the man time. No one is happy with the football we're seeing at the minute. But what were you expecting?
But this could go very, very wrong, couldn't it? Because the way we're playing at the moment, as I say, I'm just playing more devil's advocate here at the minute, because I don't even know what I'm thinking at the moment when it comes to this one, because I can see there's more than two sides to this. There's about four sides. Again, we're back to the old Spurs ways of we're cut up basically more than a fucking ounce. We're cut up into apes, basically. So in that aspect, that's how many ways we're divided. Again now, and it's fuck all to do with Levy, this one and that, because the amount of different opinions on the Frank in, Frank out, why he should be out or why he should be in is very, very divided again. It's a club and fans that we're very well known for doing. Like I said, we're cut up more than a fucking ounce. And it is just, right, so this could get a lot worse. And I get the point that it's going to get worse before it gets better, but this could get even worse as such. And the way we are playing, I would not be, if we stick with playing this way, we can easily end up anything from 12th down to 15th.
Brother, I'm going to say this really quick. Things will get worse before they get better. Make no mistake. We are going to lose games that is going to infuriate us all. I'm telling you now, it's going to be a good year before we start to see something. I'm telling you, bro. I'm absolutely telling you, mate. Things will get worse before they get better. But for me, I'm in the corner of ride the storm out and see where this takes us. For me.
I mean, for me, he seemed like the perfect manager for sort of under Levy. The sort of Levy manager. Shut up. This is what you're given. Deal with what you've got. Because
shoestring manager.
Because he's never been at a big club and been given big players and stuff like that and a shitload of money to spend and everything else. He's never been given that, basically. So whatever he gets, and this is the thing why I liked the idea with him at Spurs, because I feel he's a man who can play with the cards he's got. But the thing is, from what he's done so far, I don't think he's quite played with the cards he's got. And when I say play with the cards you've got, he's playing poker. And anyone who does actually play poker will understand there is actually tactics to poker. Even though you can only play with the cards you got, but there is tactics to poker. You can win a game of poker very easily with the worst set of cards on the fucking deck. But then you can also get blown, you can also get fucked over big time with a lovely pair sort of thing, yeah? It's a very strange game. But to me, it seems like he plays Russian roulette more than anything with 4 fucking bullets in a 6-barrel gun sort of thing.
So, in your opinion, then, what do you think Frank should be doing if he's not doing something you're expecting? I mean, for me, I wouldn't know what to expect from a manager that's just come in where we had an evil overlord in Daniel Levy at the club who's just left. And by evil overlord, I mean, look at the sack of shite Daniel Levy, has overseen bringing into the club and allowed to come in because the options he gives his managers are little to poor most of the time. I sit here and I think to myself, okay, what is Frank actually doing? And for me, I think he's doing a lot of trial and error. And I know as Spurs fans, we don't want to see trial and error. We want to see good football. We want to see us winning games. I just don't think that's how it was ever going to work from the minute he came in.
Sorry, go on. Finish what you're saying.
I was just going to say, look, I wasn't sure what to expect from Thomas Frank. However, I wasn't expecting it to be all sunshine and roses. I feel like it's going to be a long time before, and I've said this a second ago, before we see, the fruits of our labour. I just feel like the fan base needs to get our head down and just
ride it, basically.
Yeah, I really do, mate, because I feel like there is light at the end of the tunnel. I do.
I mean, that's fair enough. But, I mean, the other question people ask is, I look at it, and I do agree with what some people ask the question on, is if we don't at least get a few points through December, there is a chance he's gone in January, because we don't know how much Spurs have changed. Oh, I'm not saying that it will, but I'm saying there's a chance he's gone in January.
we all know where the fault lies in this club, and whoever's responsible for the recruitment and squad building of the 25 or so players that we've got in our squad now should be tried at criminal court, because what they've done is absolutely criminal. To put that squad together, I think it's the worst Tottenham squad we've had since the mid-90s, where we had Paolo Tramezzani at left back. You know, we were sitting there like hovering around 15th, 14th under Jerry Francis and that. Yes, actually, the football was more entertaining there because we'd lose 5-3 quite regularly. But it's a bit hard to judge Thomas Frank, because I think Thomas Frank has actually got this squad of players where roughly it should be. If we're sitting there expecting to challenge for titles or challenge for top 4 with this squad of players, then you're absolutely delusional. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, I think that opinion is delusional. Not that you're delusional. I have to be careful, don't I, Dan, how I criticise individuals. Yeah. But you get my point on that. If you think we should be up there challenging with this squad of players, then let's just say
it's a bit trippy.
I would disregard your opinion of football going forward.
I do agree. Anyone who thinks this team could be winning titles and that, like, lay off the NDA sort of thing, lay off the pills. I do agree with that.
But on the same token, Thomas Frank still has to be judged on the job that he does. And I would sit there and say, on the bad side,
we can only judge by what we see so far, can't we?
Exactly. So my comment would be on the bad side. I'd sit there and say his comment to the fans about real fans or not, that's a bad thing. The Arsenal and Chelsea performance is absolutely awful. Our ability to pass the ball, sounds really stupid just saying it as basic as that, but our progressive passing as a football team is very poor at the moment. You know, we don't pass the ball forward well in identifiable patterns. Obviously, you don't want to be too identifiable, because then the opposition will learn them and obviously nullify them. But you get what I'm saying with that. It seems like the players don't always know where to stand, where to move to, etc. So I think there's some improvements Thomas Frank needs to make in his own work that he's done so far in those areas. On the plus side, take the last couple of games away where we have conceded a lot of goals. Generally, up until that point, we've been defensively better, particularly around set pieces. We seem a little bit more organised as a unit defensively.
Well, we did in the first 3.
Yeah. And he's also shown with, like the Man City game, and I know we lost the PSG Super Cup final, and you could argue their players were a bit jaded and that, but he has shown in some big games that he's got tactical adaptability that helps us try and get a result in those games. I think we lost to Chelsea and Arsenal through lack of effort from the players rather than anything tactical. But
I could go with that.
Yeah, so there's good and bad bits. I can sit there and judge Frank, but overall, you ask me where I think we'd be with Thomas Frank in his first season. I'd say with this squad of players, roughly mid-table, and that's where we are. So I'm not going to sit there and criticise him for, as Roy Keane would say, for doing his job. You know, he's got us to where I expect us to be.
Do you know what? I do think that is fair. Because with this team, I think it's better than some people give it credit for, but I also think it's worse than people give it credit for as well. I think there's a very struggle to find the in-between with it as such. And no, he doesn't know his first 11. No one on here, I think, does know the first 11. There's about 6 players, I'd say, that you can name straight away that get into that team, i.e. Paulinho, Romero, Vicario, I suppose, has to start, doesn't he? Van der Ven. And then you're even Kudus. But now you're even asking questions on Porro. I mean, Porro has been fucking shocking lately. And again, he just gets focused on every game. Same tactics as Ange, basically. I mean, okay, he's not inverted, but he's still getting focused on every game. Because as a defensive player, he is a liability. Some people will start seeing that soon. He's not a defensive-minded player. He's an attacking wing-back, for fuck's sake, same as Udogie. And it is that sort of thing where he doesn't even know his first 11 because we don't even know the first 11. Is there a first 11? I mean, other question I put on it, like, for whatever tactics he uses, has Simons got to start? I mean, why hasn't Simons been starting? We've got no creativity in that team whatsoever. Now, I get that when Simons has played, for me, he hasn't looked no better than Telwa Odebert, pass here or there, yeah?
I can answer this question.
He's got to be starting.
He should be starting because he's been absolutely fucking dog shit. I've just put in the comments there. He's a rich man's Timo Werner.
Fucking hell. That's a bit harsh, isn't it?
Oh, no, I said he's a rich man's Timo Werner. I didn't say he's a poor man's Timo Werner. I said he's a rich man's Timo Werner, which means he's better, but not that much. I think
he's got some talent.
He's overrated. There's a reason PSG and Barcelona let him go, right? If the top clubs don't want him, he comes to Tottenham. There's a reason he's at Tottenham. He's not that good. He's okay. He's probably better than a lot of what we've got in our squad. But again, our squad's crap. So it's not hard to be better than some of them. But he's nowhere near the answer to our problems. He will probably get better, by the way. It's similar to Frank. It's too early to judge him. So I'm not sitting there getting on his back. But people say, Xavi Simons is generational. Oh, grow another one. Come on.
Hold on, Dave. I'm gonna fucking blow up here. I do have to interject. Right, look, I absolutely see what you're saying, brother. I do. I see what you're saying with Xavi. I do, but I think it's a bit harsh to say that about Barca and PSG because of the crop of players that they both had at the time. You got to think who they had in his position. I will just say this: 3 out of the 4 first team seasons he's had, he's got double figures in either goals or assists. And you know, both goals and assists have been quite close anyway, so it's nearly double in both. I think he got double in one. So I feel like that might be a little bit harsh on him. Look, the one thing I'll go with, and I do agree with you wholeheartedly, is that his ability to adapt at the moment is fucking shocking.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not a kid either, is he?
No, he's 22.
He's a kid. He's not a fucking kid.
Absolutely, but look, he's 22 years of age and he's come into a real, well, not a real tough, the toughest league on the planet. Okay, look.
Can I just quickly remind you what I said? What Van asked the question, why isn't he playing? And my answer was because he's been shit when he's played, and you can't argue with that.
No.
I was only having a little joke with the people in the comments who said he's a generational talent, which is why I was saying.
Okay.
No, but I think it's fair what Ben's going to in the aspect.
Yeah, no, and I agree with him, and I just wanted to get that point in before he carries on because I do think he's better than what we've got in our squad, and I do think he's a good player. So don't mix up what I'm saying. Taking a mickey that someone was saying he was generational talent.
I think that's a bit too far. But you know, look, and again,
Archie Gray, yeah.
Yeah, don't even get me fucking started. No, I fully agree with you. Look, Danny's right when he says he's been, Xavi has been as bad as your Tells and your Odebergs. I've seen him in games. Jesus Christ, there was one game, I can't remember which one it was. I think the commentator was taking a piss out of Xavi Simons for about 65 minutes before he managed to make a single pass that was correct. And again, the problem is, and I do feel bad for Xavi, not only have you got to adapt, but you've now got to deal with the fact that you can clearly see he's a bit low on confidence as well, which is another huge problem. So time will tell with Xavi, but I definitely don't put him in the class of, a rich man's Werner, but I see what you're saying. I do.
I mean, Timo Werner's goal return for Spurs or assists was much better than Xavi Simons per game.
Please.
Just throwing it out there.
Please.
No, I mean, there has been times in games, though, Dave. There has been times in games where I feel he's almost played himself out of the game. And what I mean by that is where his mentality was actually 2 steps ahead of the players that he plays with. He was already up the pitch waiting to pass. And the so-called left winger was behind him. The right winger was behind him. And there was fucking no one in front of him. And he stood there like that, like, what the fuck do I do?
And he also needs to adapt to the physicality of the Premier League. I'm not getting on his back because, honestly, he's been there 2 minutes. He needs time to adapt. What I'm saying is we can't throw our hopes onto him because A, he's not as good as some people think he is, but B, he's not going to be as good as he actually is for a little while yet. He needs to grow into this league, and I'm not going to judge him until probably the end of next season, for example. But he's been poor this season, but I also think we've been poor as a team, so we've not helped him. It's much easier to adapt to a new league when you join a team that's playing well. It's much easier to do that.
Dave, I wonder if you agree with this, right? So
no, I don't.
Cool, great. Well, I'm off then. So the last 3 games that Xavi started, I actually felt like, again, I'm sorry, I can't remember the teams we were against, but I know it was the last 3 games that he started. I felt like he started poor and started to grow into the game. And as soon as he started to perform, Frank whipped him off. which I found
He did
very
that
strange.
twice. He did
Was
that
it twice?
twice.
Okay, I thought it was three
Twice he
times.
did
Right,
that.
twice. Well, he started to grow into the game. You started to see a bit more of him. And I think that's going to grow a bit of confidence. And this is something I did question Frank about. I thought to myself, when he's starting to perform, when he's starting to grow into the game, why would you then take him off? And then knowing that fact, would you not play him for 4 games in a row? I found that a little bit strange. And I do wonder what his thoughts are behind that decision. Because realistically, I mean, the only thing I could think of would be you're not performing, so you won't be playing until I feel like you're ready to play again. I don't know, but from what I understand, Xavi's doing fantastic in training. So other than that, I cannot, boys, for the life of me, think as to why he's not being started in games. It's very strange.
And
Well,
again, this is more of a question to both of you rather than me stating an opinion. It's more of a question. Do you think there's an element of, obviously, the fact that he's adapting still? Let's give him time to adapt, of course. But do you reckon there's an element of Thomas Frank thinking, we're not playing that well, we're struggling a little bit, and you go back to square one when you're doing that as a manager, which is to get the basics right defensively? And do you think he looks at Xavi, thinks he's maybe a bit of a liability defensively and doesn't trust him as much to do that side of the game rather than it's anything to do with his ability going forward?
That's a really
That's
good
more of
time.
a, it's more of a question.
So are you saying that he actually...
I'm not saying it's a question.
No. But
it's a statement question.
It's almost, it's almost saying, it's almost questioning, to me, the way I've took that question, does Simons even fit into Frank's way of play as such? Now, the other side I see of that is another player. We've got no fucking creativity there whatsoever. I mean, I know people hype up Bergvall like no tomorrow, and it's like, for fuck's sake, man. Okay, he runs about like a headless chicken. I'll give him that, and he progresses with the ball, and then 9.9 times out of 10 loses the ball or don't fucking pass the ball and can't fucking shoot. Yeah, it's another thing that we do at Spurs, just big up these players and everything to the highest of the high. And he don't exactly, okay, if you call a good performance running about a pitch left, right, and centre, then you can say that Richie has quite a few better games than we give him credit for. Because for me, Bergvall, he does not deliver in any means or manner, but the odd occasion, basically. You don't usually even see a final pass in the final third off of him, unless it's coming backwards. He usually loses the fucking ball, but he's brilliant at getting forward with it. So without Simons, seeing as we ain't got Maddison and he ain't coming back till next season, in my opinion, and even when he does, I think he's pretty much done and dusted. One more, he's very brittle, one more injury, and I think he's fucked. Where does that creativity come from then? Or is it just pretty much how I took the question off of Dave, that maybe Simons just does not fit into a Frank style of football? Because it is more pragmatic.
Do you know what? Hold on. You say that. Damsgaard is a very slight, very, very, very fragile player. And he did fantastic. Well, yeah. You know, I feel like...
no, I was just answering the question down there.
No, fair enough. I just, you know what? I do feel like Xavi could fit into a Frank system because Damsgaard did. You know, he adapted Damsgaard's role. And he did pretty damn well for Brentford, in my opinion. So I do think there is absolutely a space for him. I just feel like, I think, to be honest with you, Dave's statement, I don't know. I think he hit the nail on the head. I think that is exactly the reason. That could be a very viable option.
Someone put in the comments as well that he might be taking Xavi out the firing line a little bit to protect him. And I think that's also a very fair comment as well. I think it's just maybe... throwing him in the deep end straight away, and he's probably not quite ready. So I think maybe that's, I mean, for me personally, I'm going to, as I say, give Xavi Simons till the end of next season before I judge him. But obviously other fans can be a lot more quick to judge. But I personally think actually a combination of two, maybe covering the defensive side of things more in Frank's mind, but also maybe is, as that comment said, I can't remember who said it, sorry, about maybe protecting Xavi a little bit. Maybe that's what he's doing there. So I'm not worried in the slightest about Xavi Simons. I think he'll eventually become one of our better players, certainly compared to the rest of this squad we've got. So I just think it's a symptom of those two things, protecting us defensively, but also protecting Xavi as a person and a player.
So is Simons actually going to be able to fit into a Frank way of football then, which is going to be, in general, a lot more pragmatic than it is attacking, basically? And Simons, to me, seems like the more who wants to play almost Ange football, if you want to put, obviously not to that caliber, but sort of like a lot more forward, faster, attacking football, basically. I think he's also used to having more time on the ball. And all of a sudden he's come to the Premier League and he's only getting a couple of seconds on the ball, not 10 seconds on the ball, basically. I think that's what a lot of players struggle with when they come over here from like German league, Spanish league, even Italian league. They're used to having more time on the ball, basically. You don't get that time over here.
Yeah,
most of the time.
He's far from physical as well, Dan, isn't he? Like, I don't want to judge someone by their size, but he's a very slight human being, isn't he? So it's even harder.
There is nothing off him.
Physical side.
He's on the same caliber when it comes to bodybuilders, bloody Johnson.
Oh dear.
Don't
get started on my BJ. Yeah, but Luka Modric is a great example, Benji, because when he first came in, he struggled as well, and he turned into be one of the world's best ever players. You know, like obviously not just with us, with Real Madrid as well. Yeah, one of the world's best. Definitely of his like generation, he was one of the world's best. But his first 6 to 12 months at Spurs were not great. He struggled, and you know,
Jesus, he struggled at Real Madrid. The Real Madrid's fans called him the worst signing of all time when he first turned up at Real Madrid. His first year was shocking. Then he went and won the fucking Ballon d'Or. So
don't get me started on a Ballon d'Or. It's about as worthless as the sports personality of the year.
I
take your
Ballon d'Or too much. I mean, for me, Ballon d'Or, if you're the best scorer in Europe at the time, you win it. I don't think Ballon d'Or is right in any means or manner. I mean, just because you've scored goals that season, for me, it doesn't mean you've had a better season than a bloody defender or a goalkeeper or a midfielder or whatever. And a lot of the time, it does just go, if you score the goals, you win a Ballon d'Or, but you can easily win a Ballon d'Or. And I do think something. I mean, Modric has been one of the best players ever in football, basically. And I think anyone can make that statement quite clearly. I mean, not the best, but he's definitely up there with the elite. He's definitely up. I mean, look at him. He's still playing now.
Xavi and Iniesta level?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Just checking.
Different players, but in some aspects, he's still playing.
It's very true.
Yeah, we got him in the World Cup as well, weren't we?
Yeah, he's still playing. He's at AC Milan. Now, AC Milan are nothing to the caliber of what they were 20 years ago. I mean, falling off a cliff is an understatement for them. I mean, okay, they struck the title about, 3-4 years back, but they fell off a cliff so high that in Milan overtook them on the amount of trophies they've won. Accepting
He done a job on your boys. I watched the derby the other day.
Yeah,
he done a job on your boys against Inter.
I watched the replay of it. And he's still fucking good.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, you wouldn't.
39.
Yeah, something along them lines. If he's not already, or is he even 40? And I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't complain having him at fucking Spurs. I mean,
listen,
he's double.
We had this conversation at the. We had this conversation, Dan, when we sometime in between the seasons, right? When we was talking about transfers, when I was on your show last, I think, and what players should we go for? And I said we should go for Modric. We've got such a young squad; he'll come on. If he can't play 90 minutes, he'll do a job first 60, 70, or come on when we're winning by 1 goal and need to just keep hold of the ball, bring him on last 20. He'll do a great job. Not only that, in the changing rooms as well. Can I ask a question of you both?
Go for it, mate.
It will be sort of changing the subject slightly.
Doesn't matter.
I just needed a cough and I didn't want you to hear that. Right, so obviously I've lambasted like how quality our squad is or how little quality our squad is, right? And some people I hear sit there and say this squad is better than what we're showing in terms of results. I've argued for a while now that our squad is absolutely crap in terms of quality. I even compared it earlier on this show to something. We've not been this bad a squad since the mid-90s. Let me ask you a question, and it's a number-based. How many of our players in the entire squad would get in the starting 11 of any title-challenging team across Europe's best leagues?
So to what level? I mean,
that's a big question. You're going to have to narrow that down a bit, brother.
Yeah. So I mean, squad-wise, I totally agree. Squad-wise is shocking, but we do have players.
So out of our entire squad, but the question is, would they start in most games? Obviously, not everyone starts every single game, but you get my point. In their best 11.
Yeah.
So that'd be a Premier League title challenging team. I'll even throw in PSG or Lille, Lyon, or whatever from the French league. No, actually, that's probably the worst. Let's just say PSG.
Give us 4 teams, 4 particular teams from 4 different.
No, I'm so obviously from England. It's obviously there's quite a few teams, right? So who's challenging for the title? Generally speaking, it's
basically
Liverpool,
what Dave's saying is,
Arsenal,
does he get
City.
into any of the leagues? Let's say top 4 caliber teams where at least 2 of them can fight for a title. So if it's Italy, can he get into Inter? Can he get into Juventus? Can he get into Napoli? Can he get into
Here's a funny little caveat, fellas. Every time a Spurs player leaves that we deem dog shit, they go and win a trophy of some sort. You're going to throw that out there.
They do, but
anyone notice that shit?
With the question,
that's
Dave,
kind of my question, though.
Yeah.
So the question is, how many of our 25, 26, whatever's in our squad, how many of those players would be in the starting 11 for a genuine title challenging team? So the big dogs. In France, you can only use PSG, but generally speaking, there's 2 or 3 clubs in every other league. So you've got Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, say in Spain, that covers them. In Italy, you've got Inter Milan, Napoli, traditionally Juventus, traditionally AC Milan, let's just say. Okay, so the big clubs challenging in the big leagues. So it's the big 4 or 5 leagues. How many get in the starting 11? So I want a number and then the players you think there is. I would argue, to give you my answer and then let you think about yours, I'd sit there and say, at a push, we've got 2. And that's at a push. And that's where I think the problem in this team, squad lies. But that's my view. And I'd be interested to hear your views. And also in the comments as well, like throw in your thoughts.
Go on, Ben. I think I'll let you have that one first, mate.
Hey, I'll try. Right. For me, I would say 4 players could be in and about. Do you mean specifically starting?
On a regular basis.
In the squad?
They're not the 25th player in the squad. They're regularly starting.
I mean, it's a really difficult question to ask because, like teams like Juventus, most of the Spurs fucking squad would get into that team. It's a shocking team at the minute. I mean, look, for me, for the most part, Paulinho, Van der Ven, even Romero, I'm going to say it, should get into a vast amount of those teams. They don't get into teams like PSG. They don't get into teams like Arsenal. They don't get into Real Madrid. But I would say a majority of the rest is at the very least 4 players from Spurs that would quite happily get into those title challenging teams.
Okay, I'll narrow it down then to make the question slightly easier.
If you can, please,
what players?
Real Madrid, Barcelona, PSG. We'll go Inter and Napoli because they're the ones that have won the Serie A recently. And then you've got Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea. I won't even include Man United anymore. So there's about 10 clubs there that I've mentioned. 5 from Europe, 5 from England.
I'll narrow that down then. I'll go 2. And for me, that's Van der Ven and Paulinho.
Okay. I went 2 as well, but different.
Who did you pick?
We did. Mine 2 would be Mickey Van der Ven.
Yeah.
So agreed on that. Big love to Mickey. Love you. And even though I don't personally rate him that highly, I still think he gets in a lot of the big clubs, particularly the Real Madrids and Barcelonas of the world, and that's Romero. I personally don't rate him as highly.
Fair enough.
I think he would get in the team. Other than that, not a single player gets in one of those teams.
Dave, I'm a big lover of Romero, but Dan has sort of twisted me a little bit because he's right. He is inconsistent. He's improved on that, but he is inconsistent. But the problem is with him on his day. Good Lord, is he world class? But you just don't get enough of them days.
Yeah.
Which is a problem.
Weirdly, I think if he played for Real Madrid or Barcelona, he'd actually play better.
Wouldn't have that problem, of course.
Yeah, but for us, I wouldn't put his performances up there, but I think he would get in those teams.
Yeah,
I think. Do you know what? I think you're right. I mean, Kudus does not touch any of them teams as far as I'm concerned.
Nope.
I think he's a good player, but I don't think he's. I mean, some people make him out almost like he's elite, whatever. And I think he's a good player, and I think he's significantly better than what we had. I think he's at the caliber of Spurs at the moment, but he does not touch any of those teams. Not in a million miles. Nowhere near it.
No.
Some might say that sounds harsh. Paulinho, I think you can have a debate with. Okay, didn't work at Munich, but I think if you go and put him in one of the Italian teams like Napoli, I think he could have a fight in Inter, definitely in Juventus and that. I think he's got a call in the game as such. And does he get in any of the Premier League ones? Well, it depends what you call the top four in the Premier League, I suppose. Does he get in City? No. Does he get in Arsenal? Sure as fuck he don't. Does he get in Chelsea even? No. But then I think underneath that, you can argue, but does he even get in Villa's team? He's definitely got a fight on his hands as such. I think Paulinho has a chance of getting in a couple of teams. Van der Ven, I think, could go at this moment in time and stand a very strong. I think Real Madrid would snap him up and he'd be straight in there because I think he's a very tight Real Madrid sort of playing player as such. I think he'd suit that. So I think Van der Ven could. I think Romero could go to Italy and get in a majority of teams as well because they'd be playing. I think Romero could get into a majority of teams in Italy.
Well, he won player of the season there, didn't he, to be fair?
Yeah, he'd definitely have a good call on the big teams in Italy. And yeah, I do think it's two pushing with a third one who might have a call at a couple of the clubs.
Cool. So between the three of us, we've all come up with a figure of 2 to 3 at a push, right?
Yep.
Therein lies the problem with our squad that we've put together, because it wasn't so long ago that even if you go back to pre-Pochettino, when Redknapp had us, we had the likes of Kyle Walker, Modric, Gareth Bale, right? So there's 3 that I can instantly name from the squad that walk into any title-winning team or challenging team, right? Then you go through the Poch team when, again, Kane obviously was still there. Kane, Sonny, Dele Alli is prime, Moussa Dembele, Vertonghen. It's criminal that we didn't win a league title with these guys, although we did have the most points over 2 seasons, so technically we was almost there. But you see what I'm saying?
Here, Dave, do you know what? This is the first time in 20 years we've not had 1 or 2 either world-class players or close to being world-class. So you've got to think your Van der Vaart, your Modric, but we've not had. This is the first time in 20 years.
Exactly. So whenever I hear anyone saying this squad is good, no, it's not. And even Benji, sort of similar to the point you've literally just made there. We used to supply a lot of players to the England national team. We've got Jed Spence in there as a utility fullback. That is it. You know, that sums up the quality. No one wants our players. Like, no one comes in for big bigs for our players because no one really wants them. We get the off-cast that the other teams don't want. And again, I don't want to touch on Xavi Simons, but he's a prime example. If he was available and that good, a lot of the big clubs would have come in and got him, but they didn't. That's why he's come to Tottenham. And we've built a squad that is mid-table at best, and therefore we are mid-table in the league, and that's where we deserve to be. So I'm comfortable with where we are, but I just wanted to ask that question because I think it sums up how our squad, especially since the Ponch days, has been built so badly that the people in charge of that recruitment not only should not be at the club, but they should be brought criminal charges against them because it's criminal what squad they've built.
Do you know what? I can't really fault anything you've actually said there. Dietrich, how you doing, mate?
Good, how are you?
Same Spurs, different day at the moment.
Yeah. Sorry, I was eating some pizza.
Nothing wrong with that. So go on then. Did you hear the question Dave just asked? Yeah, because you put a reply on the side. So go on.
Yeah,
give us your answer.
I was listening and I agree with him. But if you want to say it nailed on one, I'll say only one player gets in most. Like it starts for most top clubs, and that's a guarantee. For me, the rest, no. The only ones I can agree, maybe 2 is one, like, for example, PSG, like Romero and Van de Ven would start for PSG. Or Real Madrid too, because I don't think they have good center backs. But other than that, we do not have good players. And I've said it 100 times.
Do you not think Paulinho would have a shout in Italy in a couple of teams? I'm only saying a shout. I'm not saying he does get in there, but I think he's one you could say could have a shout in Italy, I think.
Sorry, can I just throw this out here? What do you mean could have? Here's a guy before he went to Bayern Munich that was like the best defensive midfielder in the Premier League, and has come back and been sublime.
He wasn't the best, but he was.
He had the most tackles, didn't he? In the league,
he was very good, but he weren't the best.
But Benji, there's a difference. He's a midfielder. You need to do more than tackling. If you look at Milan, they have Modric. He doesn't start over Modric. No way.
No, I
Inter,
agree. No,
Inter,
fair
they
point.
have Barella. He doesn't start
Barella.
for Barella. No way.
No.
Napoli, they have Anguissa. Does he start over him or McTominay? No way, he doesn't.
Mm,
McTominay has been voted best player last year.
I can't.
I mean,
can't
for
even-
me,
I
I'm going to
can't
say
even
something.
argue that Dietrich. I can't argue that.
I'm
Mate.
going to
So,
piss
look,
Dan off. I think the quality over in Italy is really quite low, which is why the English
It's
rejects,
not, mate.
rejects
Juve-
Man United has lit up the fucking league.
Juve, I swear to God, he doesn't start over Locatelli. In no way in hell.
No way.
But he starts
Not a
over the
chance.
rest of them with
No,
ease.
no, he doesn't.
All right, name me another Juve player that he doesn't get in over in that midfield.
They have Thuram that is 100 times better than.
I can't. Don't fucking wind me up.
Because
Dietrich.
look at the. Because
I
look
don't
at
know.
the.
He is good. He is good.
Because look, I'll even say this. Even for Aston Villa, I don't think Paulinho starts over Onana, and I'll tell you why. Paulinho is good at one thing and one system only, which is tackling and recover the ball and pass it to the guy next to you.
He's a 6. He's a DM.
He's a 6.
He's an
Yes.
anchor man.
Yeah, he's an
basically.
anchor man. But unfortunately, like we said, like the old school goalkeepers or center backs, the game has moved on. You need to do more than just tackling. Now you need to be a deep line playmaker as a 6. And unfortunately, Paulinho is the complete opposite. And when we play against teams that we're going to have possessions, Paulinho is useless. And it's nothing bad against him. It just, that's how he is. And I'll tell you my personal opinion. I think we need to upgrade next summer over Paulinho. I'll keep him in the squad.
What the fuck
No,
are
no.
you talking about?
I'll keep him in the squad, but I do think we need better. If you want a title challenge as a team, would he get?
Just quickly, if he's that bad,
I'm not saying he's that bad.
No, I know you're not. But if you're saying he needs to be replaced, this guy has. If he's so defensive, then why has he got 3 assists and 4 goals?
Van de Ven and Romero are top goal scorers.
Yeah,
This
I
system
get
doesn't
that,
make
but-
sense.
I mean, I just feel like the question's a bit unfair because overall, I think any club on the planet would, especially in his current vein of form, I think
Nobody
would be over
wants
the moon
him.
to have him.
No, nobody would want him. Bayern did not want him. What's his name? Real Madrid would not take him. No top club would take him.
You
They
really
will keep
don't
him in the
Don't-
squad, but he will never start for them unless.
That was literally what I was about to say. The question was starting 11. I think Paulinho gets in a lot of squads
Yeah.
around top clubs
Yeah.
in Europe.
Because
Yeah.
think about it
Starting
this
11,
way,
No.
Benji. Forget about emotions. We've seen Spurs get this close of winning a title under Poch. Is he better than Dembele and Wanyama?
No.
I think he's easily on the same level as
he's-
Wanyama.
I think he
Dembele
has.
was a god for me.
I think he has a call with Wanyama. Personally, I think he
People
has a call
forget
with
how
Wanyama.
cold Wanyama was.
Oh, he wasn't that fucking good.
He
I don't know
was-
He
why
was,
people
he was before his injury.
Before
Yeah,
his injury, I'm
before his
saying
injury.
that time when he was really good.
Wanyama was good, but I think Paulinho. I definitely think there's a shout there. I think Paulinho is the sort of one I could hang on to if we go and get that person next to him who can do the job of the midfielder.
Yes, the number 8, absolutely. Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
we get both?
Yeah, well, that's all good saying that, but when the fuck do we ever go and do it? That's the point I made to everyone when everyone was saying we're going to get a left wing and a
Okay.
striker, and I said no, it's one or the other because we don't
Okay,
do both.
then let me ask you this question. Let's say we get Locatelli and Manu Kone. Would Paulinho start?
Well, it depends how you're going to set up.
No, I'm saying in general. Forget about this at all. I'm saying in general.
No, he doesn't.
Well, there you go. You just answered my
No, he
question.
doesn't. No, okay.
I think you're
It
not
dep-
fucking
Do you know
mad,
what?
sorry.
That one, I think it depends what game. It depends what game. When you
Yeah, but
definitely need
that's-
that more
Hey,
defensive
help me here,
one.
mate. You're staying quiet, but you
When
fucking
you
say something. here.
when you need that more defensive one on there,
Yeah, but
I
it's
would say
only a
he
couple of
starts over.
games.
I'd say he starts over Kone, yeah. But when you need that more box to box and pushing forward, like a better Basuma, basically,
But
Kone walks all over.
then
him
how
in
many
that
games
aspect.
are going to be? It's going to be Liverpool, Man City, and Arsenal. That's it.
Basically, what you're talking about, Dietrich, is overall quality. What he's good,
Yeah.
he's fucking good at it. But
Yeah.
that's all he's good at as such.
It's like
Whereas these
Benji.
days, you need the
It's like-
midfielder to be a lot more
it-
all round, don't you?
It's like Dragusin.
Save me, Dave.
It's like Dragusin. He's amazing in the air, but that's about it.
Benji, if you don't like what they're saying, boo them. and they'll get their manager to pick up from.
I think it's some solid points because if you go and put the whole team together, Paulinho, I think, is a very good player that I wanted. Very good at what very good at what he does. But he's also very limited. He's also very limited at what he does. If we're going to be realistic,
exactly.
I think that's actually a good point. I think he's exactly what we needed, but we haven't got that person next to him as such. Now, if we was to go and get a Kone or a Locatelli next to him, but then I don't even think Locatelli would be the good one next to him because Locatelli, if anything, is similar but a very.
Who's better defensively, Dan? Locatelli or Paulinho? Defensively. Right. Okay. So that makes him better because.
But Locatelli is a better all-round player. Locatelli is a very rich man's version of Bentancur.
Fine. Who would you rather have? What
Locatelli? I'll CDM. I'd put Paulinho in there, and next to him, I'd play Locatelli. But if I've got to start with one or the other because I've already got the person there, then Locatelli starts because Locatelli is a good defender. He can tackle the ball. He's a bit slow, is his problem, but he can fucking pass the ball. Play as a deep lying playmaker, very good on the ball, and a very good overall player, basically. Whereas what I think Dietrich is saying, and I'm agreeing with, is Paulinho. He's brilliant at what he does, but that's all he can do. Now, if he's got the man next to him, that's perfectly fine. But I don't think Locatelli would be the man to put next to Paulinho because you'll be seeing the similar problems that we have with Paulinho and Bentancur. It's just Locatelli would produce more than Bentancur in that aspect because Locatelli is not one who presses forward out and out. He's a deep-lying playmaker and he even plays DM role. He can't run, but he's very good at sitting back, controlling, passing. He's got more of an all-round game to him. Whereas if you go and put someone next to Paulinho, you want a Kone there, basically. You can't have a Locatelli next to him like Bentancur doesn't really work too well next to him when it comes to pressing forward. Would you agree with that, Dietrich? Kone would be the one you would have next to Paulinho.
Honestly, if I have Kone Locatelli, for me, Paulinho doesn't start.
No, I agree. I would start Locatelli because he's capable of a lot more.
Because both of them are more.
But I'm talking about. Yeah, but I'm talking about if you play Paulinho, I would start Kone over Locatelli there because Kone gets forward and he's got pace. You can't have two slow players there as such, like we do. But so I think you've got a fair point.
Benji, it's like saying, who's
don't
better?
Talk to me, Dietrich. I can't.
No, but it's like,
don't even talk to me.
No, but it's like saying who's better, Dumfries or Porro as a right back. I can give you the argument that Porro's better going forward, and Dumfries is defensively solid, better than him. But if I had a choice, I would take Dumfries because he's better overall.
Yeah,
I get your point. I just think it's, if I'm honest, it's an unfair valuation.
Only one that doesn't matter your all-round game is striker, because you need to know how to score. If you know how to score, but all-round game is garbage, it doesn't matter. At least you're getting goals.
No, fair enough. In my opinion, I feel like in his current form, and before he went to Bayern, I feel like Paulinho would quite comfortably get into most teams. Bar maybe 3 or 4. I rate him that highly. He
doesn't start for Arsenal.
No,
doesn't. He's a good player. No one's saying he's not a good player, Ben. I think what we're saying is he's not. These days, I think as a player, you need to be a lot more overall. I think is versatile the right word?
Yeah.
Like a defender these days a goalkeeper needs to be able to be a defender.
I just feel like the goalposts get moved.
Midfield.
I just feel like the goalposts get moved.
Then maybe you just have to adapt to like it's 2025, not 1995, mate. Goalkeepers need to be defenders. Defenders need to be midfielders. Midfielders need to be strikers. Fuck knows what strikers are meant to be apart from score a goal. Yeah. But players are expected to be able to do more these days than what they were 20 years ago. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. You're right, Dan. I wouldn't mind if our players start identifying as footballers. Then I'll be happy, regardless of what position they take up on the pitch.
If they You know what I mean? Fucking a gender, if they even decided what gender they were, would bloody help half the time. But in that aspect, I suppose that's just a different story because we definitely got a few fucking unicorns on that pitch, in my opinion. But again, whatever they get up to off the pitch, I don't care. As long as they perform on the pitch, that's all that matters. If they want to come off the pitch and be a lamppost, be a fucking lamppost, but produce on the pitch. And we don't bloody do that either. But I do think that is a solid point with Paulinho. I think he is very solid at what he does and very good. And I'm more than happy with him starting there. But then next to him, I think our best option that we have. Who is the best option to start next to Paulinho then? Because for me, if I'm going to be honest, by style of play, Basuma is more the player that I want to see next to Paulinho than Bentancur or Archie Gray or whatever else. Even though I don't like Basuma for his mentality, but what he is actually good at, he's box to box, get that ball and press him forward. Most of his fuck-ups that he made at Spurs, most of the fuck-ups he made at Spurs was all defensive, and he is not a defensive-minded player in any means or manner.
But he's been faced though.
I agree. I do agree, but I was just saying.
That is an absolutely disgusting point. You are so right. Right now, the ideal combo would be a Basuma being used correctly, as in being told to drive up the pitch, and Paulinho sitting back. That is literally the perfect combination right now.
I don't like that option, but I like it, but I don't like it at the same time. But if we're being realistic, it's Bergvall. Because one can pick the ball and drive, but then you have to give it to Simons.
But then he can't do nothing with it.
That's the problem. Yeah,
he can't fucking deliver.
Yeah, he passes it like 5-yard pass to Simons, and then Simons has to work his magic.
Hang on a sec. Why are Arsenal fans always being blocked on this channel? Mate, I don't block no one on this channel. Come on the screen and call me a cunt if you want. I ain't going to block you. Everyone's allowed their opinion.
Don't forget to wear that little black outfit you ultras wear, because that really intimidates us.
Yeah, so I don't know what you're saying there, mate. I don't block no one on here. I think I've blocked one person since I've been doing this, and that was only because he was being a complete and utter fucking mug while I was doing a charity show. And no, I didn't agree with it. He was just being a complete and utter fucking idiot. I mean, you could be an idiot as much as you want on the chat. Fucking do what you want, mate. I honestly don't care. Just you don't have to be insulting towards other people, whatever else, and all that. You know it is. You know what? If you want to just get the fuck on with it half the time, but just keep it civil. I don't block people on here. I mean, all right, if you're an Arsenal supporter, you're a bit of a cunt anyway, but at the end of the day, I can accept that on my show. I don't mind, I don't judge people by their gender. Like I said, we got unicorns playing at Spurs, and I don't grill them for it. I just grill them when they play like a fucking unicorn or lamppost. But again, different stories. So I ain't blocking no one, fella. Go on, back to what you're saying. Sorry.
Big baby. Danny, here we go. Big baby. I just thought of Roy Keane's voice as he's typing out. Big baby.
Danny, read Scott's message.
What's that?
Read Scott.
Bergvall works because when Bergvall gives it away, Paulinho can win it back for Bergvall to give it away. You know what, Scott, mate? Honestly, I think you are one of the most negative fucking Spurs fans I've ever met. I mean, you're actually worse than me, and I won't say Saba, but I will say Saba because last season he was about as negative as it comes. But this year he's definitely a lot more positive. He sees more in it this year, but I can't argue that. I can't argue that statement. It's so fucking true. Does anyone actually disagree with what he said there?
No.
It's so fucking true. I mean, Stel is fucking negative as fuck as well and tries to be positive and whatever, but can't help it at the moment. A lot of us are negative at Spurs because there's not a lot to be positive about. But you got to be one of the worst, Scott. But that one, a lot of your stuff, I don't necessarily I can't argue, mate. I think that's actually a very good comment. I think that's actually very true. I think it is what it is. I don't think no one has got the capability of debating that because there is no way you're getting around that one. It's true. Bergvall presses forward very well, but what the fuck does he actually deliver? Ever. Bar maybe 0.1 out of a fucking 100.
Do you know what? The one thing I will give Bergvall credit for, and again, he's very, very young, so it's got to be. We've got to be a little
there's a lot of potential there. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
A lot of potential there.
all I mean is we just got to be a little bit more careful how we judge him. He's not like a 28-year-old seasoned pro. But the
Yeah,
one
you're
thing I
negative.
will
Oh, Alex, definitely, mate. 100%.
I will give Bergvall a massive credit because, you know, what we touched on with the Chelsea and Arsenal performances this season, where the players clearly didn't put a shift in, didn't put the effort in. I've never once watched Bergvall and thought he's not trying. You know, it may not always come off for him, but I will never have a go about his commitment, his desire, his work rate. So that's a good starting base. He needs to improve, obviously, with what he does with football. But he's got a good starting point in terms of his energy, his effort, and everything about that side of things. So there's a player that can be built from that. But yeah, I agree. You know, his decision making and his passing, shall we say, is not what it needs to be.
Dave,
Exactly.
how do you feel about? I'm sorry, go on, Dan.
No, I was just saying there's definitely potential there.
No, look, do you know what? For me, with Bergvall, so last season I was really impressed by him. This season, I feel like he's stuck in the mud a little bit. I've not seen progression. However, I feel like with Bergvall, his biggest problem is I don't think he knows what sort of player he wants to be just yet. I feel like he seems to be a little bit headless chicken far too much. I love his tenacity. I love the fact that he wants to, you know, drive up the pitch. That's great. But then when I allude to what Dan says, he's got zero end product, zero, which is a real shame. But I feel like Bergvall needs to sit back and take a look at himself and discover what sort of player he actually wants to be. Because there's no reason why he couldn't be, you know, that box-to-box number 8 who can create for us, who can defend. You know, he's got that potential. I just feel like he needs to kick on and figure out who and what he wants to be in that Spurs squad. But again, you know, I am a fan. I just feel like this season, I've not seen him progress. He seems to be stuck in the mud a little bit. Just for me, anyway. It's my personal opinion on him.
Yeah, I do agree. I do think he gets very overrated. I mean, people do look at him like he's this star player who he picked us over Barcelona. Yeah, because he knew at Barcelona he was going to be lucky if they got in their C team, let alone their fucking B team, basically, yeah? And he wanted game time, and he's coming out over here, and he has improved since he's played, but I do feel he's overrated, definitely, but then what other options do we really have? Because I don't even think he's that great, but I think he's light years ahead of Archie Gray. People know I do not rate him. But I do definitely see skill in a player there, and I do definitely see it. I think over a couple of seasons, you're definitely going to see him improve. And I do think you are definitely going to see a player there, but the thing he needs to focus on is his passing. No two ways about it. Because the problem is, you can run around the pitch like a headless fucking chicken all day long, but if you can't deliver up the final third with a pass, a cross, and or a shot or whatever, then you might as well big up fucking Richarlison as far as I'm concerned. But that's where he's young and he's got time to improve, basically. I just don't think he's quite as great as a lot of people make out.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I can't disagree. I can't disagree with that. But again, I go back to his age. For his age, he's actually probably overperforming, playing for a club of our level. And again, it puts to shame some of our other players in our squad that he does more effort-wise than some of the other bigger senior pros in that squad. So, yeah, criticise him, but he wouldn't be the first person I criticise in that squad.
I mean, it's like
into that queue.
Yeah, I'd agree with that as well. I mean, should he be in our first team? No, he shouldn't. But who have we got to put there in front of him? Because another one I really don't rate as high as a lot of people do is Sarr. I think Sarr's in the wrong fucking job, mate. He should be an athlete. He should be running around the track 5 times. I don't think.
Can I ask another question, Dan? I know obviously I asked the last one about the wood players.
Ask what you want, mate. Ask what you want.
No, you can't, David.
Boo.
Yeah. Shut up, Dave. Go on,
oh, at least Dietrich is behind the comments now. That makes more sense because he's not on camera.
You can't see his mug anyway, so it doesn't matter, does it?
Ladies, you've got my pretty face back. That's confused me. Where are we? So the question. I know it's quite, well, I say early in the season. We've done the first third of the season, haven't we? And it's not been the greatest of season so far. but trying to bring it round to a more positive spin, because obviously the last bit of talk has been about how poor we've been. Who would be your top 3 players this season in terms of their performances so far from us? Who would be the top 3 players you'd put in that list?
Go on.
Silence. No one's doing well.
No. I got you.
I'm thinking about it.
Paulinho, Van der Ven, and Romero.
Correct answer is 0. None of them. Crap. But yeah, no, sorry, I'm just joking. What did you say, Benji?
Our 3 best players this season so far. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. Who's been the best performer so far for us?
Shit. For
It's
me,
Van der Ven.
Paulinho. Yeah, Van der Ven, Paulinho, and Romero, probably. I'm going to be honest. No one on YouTube has ever heard me wax lyrical about Kudus. I do not rate him as much as other people do.
He rates Paulinho.
I've never once given my opinion on YouTube about him. I'm biding my time on that one. I need to see a lot more from him.
I think Kudus is good, but I don't think he's quite elite like people make out to be.
Is he good because he runs forward with the ball and no other player in Spurs does? Or
he does hang on to the ball a bit, I think. He does hang on to it sometimes. But I do think he's a good player.
Forget about how good he is generally as a player. What I'm asking about who's been the best players for us this season. And I think Kudus is in the argument to be in the top 3 because compared to everyone else, he's got a good shout of saying he's in that top 3 because he's actually delivered goals and assists. Yeah. Right. And there's not a great list of competition to be competing against.
Van der Ven, Kudus, and I think you can put Romero in there, sort of thing, because I think he's played 50-50 altogether this season. You've seen some very good performances, you've seen some very poor out of him as such. Whereas other players, I think you've seen more poor than you've seen good. So at least you've seen good in there. I think they're the 4 that you could say, if I'm going to go more consistently performed, it goes Van der Ven, who's looked crap a couple of games as well, but been overall very good. I think Paulinho has been more than stable. Kudus, and then I think after them 3, you can put Romero. And then after that, we haven't got anybody there really you could say that to.
I'm not a million miles away from that. I mean, Dietrich, you've not said yours yet, but like...
Oh, sorry.
Anyone's different. I'd be surprised if you mention anyone different from those 4.
Me was Van der Ven, and that's about it.
Yeah, so we're all agreed Van der Ven's been our best player this
season.
The
rest, I like Kudus, but I don't think he's been that good. He started well, but now he's a bit garbage. Yeah. Paulinho, no, once again, depending on the opposition, but when we have the ball and we need to keep possession, he's been mediocre. And it's not his fault. And Romero, honestly, I just want to sell him at this point. Just get a new centre back.
I would rather have a more consistent one there, I must admit.
I'll take Gay any day of the week, personally.
Yeah, Gay won't take Tottenham.
He wouldn't. And if you think about it this way, other than Van der Ven, who did Frank improve? Other than Van der Ven, because Van der Ven has taken a big leap this year.
Yeah, partly because he's not been asked to defend in I don't want to use the word that because that's a bad word, but he's not defending in a way that's gung-ho, let's say, under Ange, very high line, whereas at least now he looks like a normal defender doing a normal defender's job, and he's not pulling his hamstrings every 2 minutes as a result.
Because we can all agree that Frank is a defensive manager, but we look defensively worse, and every defender looks worse. Even Spence looks worse, who is our best defender.
Are you talking individually or as a team?
I think as a team and Romero, boys.
Team and individually, other than Van der Ven, of course.
Okay. We look worse defensively as a team than we did under Ange. Is that what you're saying?
No, we look. Because if you look at it this way, under Ange, Spence looked good. We agree on that. Look better than this year.
Okay, so I'd agree with you when you say individually defenders.
Individuals, actually, we look worse.
But as a team, we look defensively more solid than we did.
Because we have a 6. But if you remove the 6 as the back 5 of Udogi, Van der Ven, Romero, Paul, Vicario, I believe we look exactly, or even I'll even say even worse at times.
I don't think we look better. We did
Worse.
for 3 games. Just one thing, Chris, mate. You know what? I'm the first one to say anyone's entitled to their opinion about anything, anyone. You've given your opinion across, mate. Just leave it at that, please, fella. Just asking nicely. Just leave it at that.
No need to get personal.
Exactly, mate. You've put your point across. I think a few people have, you've put your point. Just leave it at that, for fuck's sake. Come on, keep it a bit more lighthearted.
But do you know what that question showed, though? And it's the reason I asked it. It's similar to how I asked about, how many players would get in title-winning teams, to highlight a point, right? And all 4 of us there, we agreed that Van der Ven's had a good season. We struggled to name the next 2, but we also kind of touched on the same players as well. There was no one else breaking into that. It just shows, actually, from an individual point of view, there's not been many good performers this season. It was kind of reason I asked that question, to prove that point. There's not been many good players that have had good performances, this season. Consistently, and that's a worry as well, because regardless of who the manager is, you've got to have personal pride in your job, right? Listen, I mean, Roy Keane, I absolutely love Roy Keane, but he's the same as well. It's like, it doesn't matter who the manager is, have personal pride in your job. Go out there.
Best player ever in the Premier League.
Yeah.
Best
pundit as well.
Yeah, without
big
that.
baby, big baby.
Patrick Vieira was better. Don't argue. Do not argue on that, then. No, stop.
No, you see, the problem is with what you're saying there, Dietrich. You've just picked up probably my 2 all-time favourite players. Sorry, one of them is an Arsenal player. I mean, Dave, you remember how I used to play in that? They had me in goal and that. I was too short for that. They put me as defender, had me out of there within 3 minutes and had me play a DM role, and I absolutely loved it.
You were more Dennis Wise, you vile little git. You used to play in toe-cap boots. And I'm not talking football boots either, people. I'm talking like work boots with steel toe caps in them.
Yeah. That was only when we played down Hall Place. Otherwise, I at least had football boots on. But yeah, I must admit, they were 2 players. I just loved the way they played, and everything. Apart from one of them was at fucking Arsenal. Whether he's at Arsenal or not, he's.
Dan used to forget about the football on the pitch. He never knew the football existed. He just knew the opposition were there and just took them.
Dan, how many red cards? You got, like, if you had a...
Well, here's a quick story then for you, Dietrich. I mean, Dave can back this up. Do you remember when we were playing those semi-pro Italians?
Yeah. I was only 12. Yeah. I wasn't allowed to... No, was I 12? I might have been a little bit old.
Yeah, I think you was about 12 because I was about 16. I think so, I was about 16. And we were playing these semi-pro Italians, and they used to come over. They used to fucking beat us all the time.
They were working in the area on something, weren't they?
Yeah, and they kept coming over during the year, didn't they? And they'd done that for about 2 years. And then one of them, he was meant to have actually had a chance of possibly taking the next step. And he was on man with me. I was in goal at the time, and it was just me and him. And I just thought, well, fuck it. You know what? If we ain't getting beaten 10-0 again, because they used to absolutely destroy us every time until one game we managed to get a draw out of about 30 attempts. I just thought, fuck it, I'm going to take him out. And I took him out a bit harsh. And he busted his pelvis, and he couldn't play football after that. But that's just the sort of player. Yeah. Do you remember that, Dave? Fucking ruined him, wasn't it? Like, busted his pelvis. He couldn't play after that ever again. And he actually was meant to be one who could step it, wasn't he?
I just remember the fact that the results changed when you let me and my mates play, because we were better football than you and your mates.
You lot were more skillful. We were more physical. But then when you had
exactly.
We'd done the physicality side of it. And yeah, the way I always played football, I just loved getting stuck into a game. I mean, I used to like why I used to get put on the pitch and that was to basically have a fight on there, wouldn't it? Like, get stuck into a game, play an old school game of football.
You couldn't get away with wearing Jack Grealish shin pads if you was playing against Dan. You had to have proper old school shin pads.
Especially down Hall Place. And anyway, they weren't steel toe cap boots. They were steel toe cap trainers that I had to use at the time. And they'd done the job quite nicely for what I wanted it to do. People didn't like it. But anyway, back on...
Take a bit of that fight in the Tottenham team now.
God, that's
Especially
why.
against
That's
Arsenal
what
and Chelsea.
I mean, when I say about getting stuck into a game, I don't mean fucking break their legs and that. I know it don't work like that. I know it ain't the pub league, but what I mean by getting stuck into a game, get fucking stuck into it. Have some passion, have some heart to it. Want a bit of physicality, or as much physicality as you're allowed. Not go on there like a fucking pathetic little bitch and get totally. Do you know what? You don't even need to be a good player, in my opinion, to get stuck into a game. And I think players have proved that. You can still get stuck into a game and give it your all. And okay, you might have a bad game, but people can tell that you've at least got into that game. Richie's done it a couple of times where you said, mate, he's had a shit game, but he actually tried. And there's been too many times where I've seen players on our pitch not even try. And that's not just under Frank, but that's under Ange as well. And I know you can add it up with everything else. I just feel like at this team, not just this team, I mean football in general, but I just feel at Spurs, I'll just say we got too many pussies on that fucking team, as far as I'm concerned, mentally and physically.
I think that's football in general these days, brother, to be honest.
I mean, I'll tell you one who half impressed me, and that was Johnson. Why? Because I don't rate him as a player. He got a lot of fucking stick, and he got a lot of uncalled for stick on social media. Yeah, but then I also have the attitude of it of like, you know what comes as part of the package, so why fucking go on social media? Not justifying anything, but again, it's another thing in life. You're not going to fucking change it, so why get involved in it, yeah? But he got a lot of shit on the pitch and that as well. And he actually got his shit together as good as he could and scored a couple of goals and basically said to the crowd, what you're going to say now? Do you know what? Fair play, I can respect that. Not saying he's a good player, not saying that I rate him in any means or manner. I think he's fucking awful. But you know what? Fair fucking play. I stand there and start getting booed by the fans. I'm going to sit there and think, you bunch of fucking pricks. Do you know what? I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm not going to sit there like a little bitch and cry on there or whatever and complain about this and that. And it's you fans that's the problem and everything. Shut the fuck up and go and produce and play some fucking football. Give me something to clap about. You want respect? Earn respect. I don't think no one deserves respect from the second you meet them. Common courtesy, yes. But respect is something you earn. So you want me to clap you on that pitch and say, well done, after paid for tickets or I'm paying fucking Sky or I'm paying Peacock or whatever else, then give me something to clap. Don't fucking bitch about when you don't put the effort in and you get booed off the fucking pitch.
There's one thing you can never ever go at Spurs fans, and that's not backing their team. We've had like 30, 40 years of nowhere near the success this club deserves, and our fans turn up in their droves. And I'll give particular mention to the away fans as well, go up and down the country following this club. And we don't get the returns based on the results that we deserve, yet we're still there cheering. Well, I say we, the fan base in general are still there week in, week out during this team months. That's why I found that comment so unsavoury from Thomas Frank, but also Pedro Porros and the likes. No, we're there backing you up. You put the performance on the pitch. We can't affect the results. You can.
Exactly.
Sorry, Dietrich. I think I jumped in now.
No worries, no worries.
Go on, Dietrich. Go on,
no,
mate.
just to answer this question, I have really an issue with people that say you got to back the players. Like, for example, what Vicario did, like you shouldn't boot him off. Well, I'm sorry, people. You're in the wrong sport.
Right, to be fair, Dietrich, I'm not pulling any of our players off. That's another story.
Like, you're getting paid millions. Honestly, if you don't like it or you're scared of getting booed, then how about you just donate all of the money you made this week, give it to someone, give it to charity, give it to the fans, and give an apology. But no. Why should I praise someone for making mistakes? I shouldn't praise you. I shouldn't back you. Prove me wrong.
But to Vicario's credit, did he not do that?
No, he didn't. For me, I'll give you my reason why I have an issue with Vicario now. He talks too much in front of the media. Instead of having that talk saying, we're leaders, we're this, we're trying our best. No, you're not. Stop lying. Be honest with yourself. Be like, look, we're struggling. We're going to try and make sure like mistakes don't happen. But like people just need to be patient. Say it as it is. But don't start saying, oh, we got it back. We're going to bounce back. Stop lying.
Maybe.
Hold on, Dan. What should he say then? Because to my knowledge,
with me, it's just...
no. Hold on. Let me speak. Right.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, right, straight after the game, he asked to go on Sky Sports. He asked to go on Spurs Play. And from what I saw, he came out and apologised for his mistake. Bear in mind, hold on. Bear in mind, the Tottenham fans decided to boo Vic, of all people. Vic. Right? When you've got players like Richarlison performing the way he is. And you've got to remember, Vicario has saved us about 5 times this season. So to come out and boo him and then to give him shit after, when he comes out and apologises and has the balls to stand there in front of the fans and say, look, I'm sorry, I fucked up. And trying to be a bit positive about it, what's he supposed to do? Yeah, we're shit. Sorry. Well, what do you want him to say, D?
Okay, think about it this way. If, let's say, you own a company and your workers fucked up, who is going to speak about it? Who's going to get the most shit? The manager or the directors? Well, Vicario, you're part of the leadership. You're the one, you took that responsibility. If anything happens, it's on your head. Because you're the one that's like gluing the team together. Is it fair or not? No, I don't think it's fair, but that's how it works. That's life.
Do you not feel he's taking responsibility, though, D?
No, he hasn't taken the responsibility. Because if you take the responsibility, you gotta don't show it just on like Spurs player or like Spurs Twitter. Show it on the pitch too. Because when
he's done that this season, he saved us in 5 separate games.
But he makes too many boneheaded mistakes, and that's my problem.
But we had this conversation earlier, mate. Fucking Manuel Neuer has done the same thing in his career.
No, but you see, with Neuer, at least when it counts or when it matters most, he's gonna save a penalty. He's gonna help his team. He's gonna like try to like put the troops together, and like even if they're down there, he's gonna like elevate the team, even after a mistake. But Vicario, no, he's gonna stay silent and be a lamppost.
I think he has definitely saved our ass a couple of games this season where we could have easily got beaten 6-0, whatever, and that. But back to the point on that aspect, I just don't think he is a good all-round modern-day keeper. I think he's an excellent shot stopper, but that is that. I can't really name any. Well, tell you what, apart from shot stopping, tell me something he's good at.
You can't.
Sorry, I was just reading the comment. Repeat that, Dan. I'm so sorry.
Right.
Apart
from being an excellent shot stopper, what he is, tell me something he's actually good at.
All right, I'll take this one.
Tell me something he's good.
I got you. I mean, I don't think you need to be good at anything else other than that. He's adequate with his feet, and he's adequate at being a sweeper. I've seen him come out plenty of times, head the ball, kick the ball. He's got us out of danger a few times. Admittedly, he's fucked up a few times. I'm not saying he hasn't. I'm not saying he's the best at it. But at the end of the day, I don't care about all this modern goalkeeper bullshit. I want him to be good between the sticks. I want him to have top reaction saves. You know, that's what I want from a goalkeeper. And he's adequate at it. You know? So I hear what you're saying, but I don't want him doing Ronaldinho on the fucking
pitch.
Ben,
we're not asking him to be Ronaldinho on the ball. But like, at least if you take a responsibility of being someone or being a leader, I'm sorry, your game has to elevate as long as your leadership. If you see the team is struggling, come and catch the ball. Or like you see, what's his name? You see like, for example...
2 seconds. Danny, you want to check that comment, mate?
Already did.
Sorry, D.
No worries.
What's the matter with some people? Sorry, Dietrich, I apologize.
No worries.
No, that's OTT. Already deleted.
Stupid. Sorry.
God,
I was about to continue. Like, for me, honestly, Vicario, like, he's just getting on my nerves now. Yeah, he's a good shot stopper. Yes, he does well. But, like, my guy, you got to do more. Like, I know I'm not asking him to be like Ronaldinho on the ball. But like, if you clear the ball, send it to Roll Z. Just do those little things.
Hang on a sec. Let's just go back to Ben's role then. Basically, you still believe a goalkeeper should be an old school goalkeeper.
I feel like everything you guys are talking about, Vicario does. Okay. He's not the best at it, but he does it.
I'll give you examples. Yeah, I mean, for me, the type of goalkeeper you're talking about, who I think is one of the best the Premier League has seen, one of the best, is Peter Cech when he was at Chelsea. No two ways about it. He's a fucking excellent. But he's not really a modern day goalkeeper. But okay, we go by your style of goalkeeper, yeah? Right. Shot stopping is a prime thing, yeah? What about commanding in the box?
It's not that hard.
What about taking command of the box? What about even talking to your players in the box?
Well, do you know what? It's funny you should say that.
Hang on. I've got more points.
How about saving penalties?
He don't do none of that. He can't save a penalty for shit. He's shady as fuck across. Okay, he's got a little bit better.
Blames other people.
Well, that one just people do that, yeah. But I'm not agreeing.
That.
But even the things that you ask off a basic old school goalkeeper, yeah. The only thing he actually delivers is shot stopping, and that's when he doesn't have to think about it. Penalties, he's fucking awful. He don't come out and command his box. He don't tell people what's going on. He don't physically stick up for himself when he gets. He had an Arsenal player the other season go up to him and not far off start pinching his ass.
That was Ben White.
Took it. Yeah.
Benji,
there's a lot of Arsenal players and fans that go around doing that to other men.
Dave.
It's an Arsenal thing.
But Ben, it's not like we're asking him like to be like Arnold, like be like 6'5" giant, like be muscular, like be giant. No. Do you know when you're goalkeeper, like it's easier for you just jump and catch the ball? Like it's not like he has to do like a wonder save or something like that. No. Just do the basics. And if you're not good at the ball, that's fine. But I'm just asking my goalkeeper to command his 6-yard box. That's all I'm asking.
I feel you, but what I personally want from my goalkeeper is when my team are playing shit, I want him to save our ass, and he's done that multiple occasions.
But then he costs you. He costs you many games too. Because of those
how many games would you say he's cost us? I'm dead serious now. Like honestly, think back. How many games would you genuinely say Vicario has cost us?
Fulham, he cost us 100%.
Fine, that's one.
I believe. Let me just pull up the calendar because I honestly, top of my head, I don't have it. Give me 1 second.
Dietrich, right? I understand your point. Truly, I do.
He's cost us many games.
No, he hasn't cost us many games. This is what I'm saying. It fucking drives me crazy. This passing fad of modern goalkeeper.
Arsenal, I believe he did because there's goals he should have saved.
There is a couple we should have had a better call for, but there is others that he didn't stand a chance. So 50-50.
Chelsea, in my opinion, should have saved it too. The only ones I can say he really saved us was you can say Monaco.
He's done it about 4 or 5 times this season, Dave.
And he also done a very good job at Chelsea, stopping us losing about 6.
Yes, he fucking did.
Oh yeah, he did.
Brother.
You know, the point we're saying, Ben, is whether you like it or not, deal with it. It is what it is. It's 2025.
I won't deal with it because it's nonsensical.
Then you're not gonna adapt to modern day football, are you? It's just the way it is.
But fucking look,
I'm not saying I agree with it, but it is what it is. You can't change that.
Fine. But Vicario is adequate with his feet. You know, Vicario.
No, he's not.
He is. So what are you telling me? He can't be passed back to him and he can't pass it out to someone else. You haven't seen him do that a million fucking times.
It's not awful.
Then even my nephew can not even my little cousin can fucking pass a 5-yard ball. It's not hard.
He's excellent. I mean, honestly, Bench, when it comes to delivering the ball and even passing the ball and trying to control it, I mean, how do I put? I mean, fucking hell, fella who broke his legs in a wheelchair's probably got more control of the fucking ball. He's that bad on the ball.
Benji, you know it's bad when the away hands every time Vicario gets the ball and gets pressed, they start like screaming, or like even like those sarcastic laughs, because everyone knows he's not good on the ball, so they're gonna press him. You know you're shit when the other team starts pressing the fuck out of you.
All right,
when they sussed him out on the physical side, they sussed him out and they focused on him after that, and he just went pretty much downhill.
Yeah, but that was fucking disgusting to the point where they changed that ruling. By the way, just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, but I would.
Yeah, they changed the ruling.
But he still didn't man up and stick up for himself.
It's ridiculous. You're being pushed into it. He's
punch the guy. Punch the guy.
As a goalkeeper, you've got
more. Someone off him for fuck's sake.
As a goalkeeper, you've got more right than anything. As a goalkeeper, you've got more right than anything to touch.
Punch is sarcastic, but you're allowed to push him. Like, really
let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Did you think Hugo Lloris was a good goalkeeper?
No.
Right. What?
I never rated Lloris.
Fucking hell, that's just shot me down, isn't it? Go on.
Yeah, I never
Right,
rated
I'm going to
Lloris.
ask you again. This time I need you to say
I'm
yes.
with
So,
Oh,
Dietrich.
sorry, wrong way. I'm with Dietrich on the Lloris one. Brilliant shot stopper. One of the best
Terrible
goalkeepers
goalkeeper in general.
in terms of reactions.
Okay,
Like, say if a shot was getting fired in from 2 yards, he was one of the world's best.
Like
I've ever seen
Vicario.
at that. Yeah, like real good reactions. But as an all-round goalkeeper, he was nowhere near.
Do you want me to name you some all-round goalkeepers?
I don't think he was a great
Vic
goalkeeper
is better
either.
than Lloris with his distribution and his feet.
But that's not hard.
Look that up.
Yeah, but Hugo
But
was
people would
absolute
consider
dog shit
Hugo
at that
Lloris
as well.
as a very, very top class.
No,
keeper.
what it
He
is at Spurs, Ben, what it is at Spurs, I get where you're going, yeah. What it is at Spurs is that fans are very fucking sentimental, yeah. And Hugo was a very liked player. I mean, sadly, he will always be remembered as that player that should have gone 3 years earlier, yeah. Now, for me, Hugo Lloris was a good goalkeeper. Excellent shot stopper. But when it comes to the rest of it, do you know what? He was worse than fucking Vicario with his distribution.
He's a World
that's
Cup
going
winning
some.
France captain, though.
Don't throw out the World
and
Cup winning thing. Ryan Bertrand is a Champions League winning defender because he played in the final.
You know
That's
what I
all he's
mean?
done.
And what goalkeepers did France have? That is one thing they've always actually been quite limited on a lot of the time.
And now he doesn't start for France. After
I
Lloris-
think
me,
I'm going to listen to what you say, Mr. Gunner, with a name like
Listen,
that.
Scott M in the chat. He's obviously got it right. Lloris is better than Vicario, right?
That's true.
But they've got great similarities in the fact that they're not brilliant with their feet. In fact, I'd agree with Benji. I think Vicario is probably better with his feet than Lloris. Both are poor in the air. They're very poor in the air. You know, when it's a crowded box, they both can deal with it. But they're also both brilliant reactive goalkeeping, like in terms of saving. Their reaction times are brilliant. The pair of them, really, really top, world-class reactions.
Yeah,
I believe that. But as the all-round package as a goalkeeper, they don't have it. But Dietrich, I feel a little bit sorry for you in this conversation because we actually started the show with a bit of this. It feels a bit deja vu.
Yeah.
It feels a bit deja vu because we kind of had a go at Vicario, but you know what we ended on, Dietrich? Is yes, he deserves criticism, but compared to the rest of the squad, we should probably move on because he's not in the top firing line of criticism. So that's where we landed. I don't know if you agree with that, Dietrich.
No, I don't think he is either.
I know it's going to sound terrible, but I think he's number one.
Oh, lay off.
No, what the?
No, wait.
He is number one. He is number one. He's our goalkeeper.
Well, yeah, actually, he's right. He is number one.
Vicario, I'll say this. I believe he should be the most criticized, and I'll say why. Because you're a part of the leadership group. You're part of you're the goalkeeper, so you're not prone to make mistakes. And we all know that you should be playing than what you're showing right now. So that's why I'm criticizing, because I know Richie's not good. I'm not expecting anything. I'm not expecting anything from the likes of Brennan Johnsons and all these older bears. I'm not expecting anything. But when it comes to Vicario, I'm expecting you to do your job, which is saving us and not make mistakes.
And he's done that multiple times this season.
No, he hasn't done it multiple
He
times.
has, mate.
No, he
Come on
hasn't.
now.
No, he hasn't.
Dan, Dave, help me out here. Has Vicario saved us at least 4 times this season?
Saving is giving us points on the board. That's called saving.
Do you know what?
He's had a couple of games where he's been our best player and saved us.
Because saving us from conceding 5-0 and we lost 1-0, for me, that's not saving.
No,
saving
he's
is
actually
because if you lose 1-0, if you lose 1-0, 5-0, at the end of the day, it's a loss. But the only difference is goal difference. But at the end of the day, you lost.
Basically, he saved our pride a couple of times, and he's also saved us a game.
Did he save our pride many times? Yes. But did he save us in a game? No.
But sometimes when the shot comes on it and the defenders fuck up as well, yeah, there's only so much. I think Dietrich, you're going a bit too deep with him, basically, yeah. Now, I agree. I didn't even think Hugo Lloris was a great goalkeeper. He's another one who I thought was good at what he could do, and the rest of it. I think some people just don't realise or want to realise that being a goalkeeper these days, there's a lot more to it than there actually was.
I'm just asking him to do the basics then, which is old school goalkeeping.
He don't deliver. I give that. He doesn't control his fucking box. He's not good at coming out at corners. He's not good at coming out for free kicks. He's a shot stopper. We've already said that all, Dietrich. But you saying that he's one of the one who deserves the most shit, I ain't agreeing with that. There's worse on that pitch than him.
I'm not saying he's the worst on the pitch. I'm saying he deserves the most criticism, which is different. There's a big difference.
Backtracking.
No, I'm saying there's a big difference. No, there's a big difference. Worse on the pitch, I know Richie's not good enough, so I'm not even going to waste my energy criticizing him or making fun of him.
People tell me Vicario is better than Raya. No, he's fucking not. He's a better shot stopper, but that's it. Nothing more.
But he
Raya's
does
not that good either. He's Arsenal's weakest link.
And I'll say, do you know who's number 2 that deserves a lot of criticism this year?
For me, would you not say he's Benji? Why are you reacting to that? Do you not believe that he's Arsenal's weakest link?
No.
It's
It's funny. I'm just thinking of Clangers and Raya, and people really rate Raya, and rightly so.
He got lobbed by Richarlison.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking, you want Clangers? There's one. You know, look, for me, and listen, chat, I'm checking the chat out, and a lot of you agreeing with Dietrich. I must be fucking crazy because I think, to me, it feels like he's made one massive mistake, and everyone's just lost the fucking plot.
I think people have been judging him over a couple of years. He was really good for us until he got sussed out, and then people picked on him physically. But look, I want to move it on from Vicario because we've been picking on him a lot.
Then just quickly.
I don't think he's as bad as you make out, Dietrich. I think you take it one step too far.
No, I didn't say he is horrendous. I'm just saying like 2 things. First of all, I rated Vicario a lot when he was in Italy, and I wanted him Spurs to buy him, so I was happy. I'm just saying he's regressing a lot. And the second guy I would criticize a lot this year is Porro, because he's been absolutely shocking this year. So my criticism, it goes to the players I expect the most out of. That's what I believe. But then we can move on.
I mean, Porro for me has definitely been one of our most. I think he's been one of the worst players on the pitch, and some of them have been that bad. But look, the point I want to go back to in that, because I've been on here 2.5. What tactics? Because we never actually got to the fucking point. That's what I mean. It's just like being.
Do you mean the title of the show?
Yeah, it's just like we spoke about it for a bit. But that's the thing with football. You can sit there and be meaning to talk about something, and then it can just drift off to 100 other things, isn't it? It's like women talking about fucking lipstick and that. When it comes down to it, what has he got to do tomorrow? What tactics do you think we are going to use tomorrow? What do you think he's going to use tomorrow? I mean, surely we've got to put it on them, haven't we?
I know how I talked along, but I really have to go, so I'll just be really quick with it.
Go with it, mate.
Do you know what he has to?
The tricks, all the housewives will be crying their eyes out if you go.
For me tomorrow, do you know what he has to do, Frank? What he has to do, and bear with me, he has to do everything. If Frank has something in his mind, he has to do the complete opposite tomorrow. And I'll tell you why. First of all, Brentford are in a complete, they're in a good form. Their striker is second top scorer this year. He's been really good at Brentford. And I do believe Frank, from the first minutes, he needs to make sure to press high and press Brentford. Because I believe their biggest weakness is the defense. And honestly, if I see...
Have we got the quality to do that, though?
Do we have the quality? Maybe. But I'll say this right now. If I see one of the youngsters on the pitch tomorrow, which is Archie Gray, I will lose my mind.
I don't think you'll see him on the pitch tomorrow. I think that's why he saved Paulinho in that aspect.
And I do not want to see us... Because now we lost against... we were this close of losing against Newcastle. Now it's time to put in your best players and just go for the win. Because draws are killing us and losses are killing us this year.
If he doesn't win that tomorrow, I think you are going to see a majority turn on him.
Is it a home or away?
Home.
Even worse, we're losing, so...
So what do you two reckon we got to do tomorrow? What formation do you reckon he's got to do? I mean, I think he's going to... See you later, mate. Take care.
Mate.
I think he's going to go for the 4-2-3-1 or the 4-2-2-2, whatever he does. I think he's going to do a 4-2-3-1 tomorrow. and we got to push it and go for it, because if he gets beaten by his other team, people are going to bring up, like they already are in the chat, Ange beat him there 3 times, whatever, and that, and we ain't looking good at home. You know what? If we were losing these games away, but had our away record at home, I don't reckon the fans would be so pissed off. I reckon the fans would be dealing with it more. I think it's because our home, we are one of the worst teams in the Premier League at home and one of the best away. If it was the other way round, I think people would be dealing with it better. But surely he's got to fucking take this game by the scruff of the neck and go for it. Otherwise, he's on borrowed time, in my opinion.
I mean, maybe I'm just a crazy one. I couldn't give a fuck about home or away records. I just care about.
No, it's just a point I was putting across.
No. I'm with you. I know people are making a big deal out of it. I mean, I understand, but for me, it's the overall. I don't really care whether it's home or away that we're struggling. I just want to see the team perform to the best of their ability, which we're not seeing. And I don't know how much of that is on Frank, to be honest. But yeah, tomorrow, same as Fulham. This is a game. And when I say same as Fulham, I mean we should do the same. You know, Fulham and Brentford are the sort of games that I feel like we should stamp some fucking authority. And we need to do that tomorrow. And Frank needs to get that into the boys. Look, listen, for me, I'm predicting a win tomorrow because I'm seeing certain things from a few games, and I'm hoping, tomorrow it's all going to sort of come together and hopefully crack out a win. But absolutely, we need to dominate from the minute that whistle goes to the very last, because we cannot suffer another defeat. It's just not.
If they score first, the amount of pressure that is going to go on that pitch and on that players, and as far as I'm concerned, that's what they're there to do. It's their fucking job, so go and do it. Yeah, same as the manager in that aspect. The pressure there, if Brentford go and score first, it is going to get fucking. It's going to be like someone drops a nuclear bomb in there. Toxic will be an understatement.
But how bad is it that players are afraid to play at fucking home because of how bad the atmosphere is? And I get it. It's largely
because they're too much pussies in my aspect.
Yeah, I get that. I do.
But that's just an opinion. Too fucking weak.
No, I'm with you. I understand. I do. Players need to show a bit more bottle and a bit more fucking backbone and really stand up and represent the club a bit better. And again, I'm going to be real with you, mate. And for anyone in the chat, I don't know how much of all these issues are down to Frank. I think it's a lack of confidence and a lack of performance from the players, personally. It's just my opinion. But, yeah.
But it's his job to get the best
It is. It absolutely is. But then he may
The amount of times I've heard that tonight, it's his job. All I've got is Roy Keane going up in my head. It's his job. It's his job.
It's his job. That's why he's been employed.
You should have a little special button down that every time someone says that, Roy Keane just pops up. It's his job.
You could actually get that.
No, I ain't that fucking cheesy. If like I said, if we concede, it could get very, very, very bad. I mean,
you'd like to think after the Fulham game that shouldn't happen, right? You'd like to think that was a lesson learned, surely.
Yeah, and you'd like to think a few of the games before that. I mean, at the moment, we are sitting in 11th place with 19 points, and Brentford are level with us on 19 points, except we've got +5, they've got -1.
Yeah.
If we go and lose that tomorrow, and a couple of other teams have a good one, we could end up in 14th.
Whereas if we lose that tomorrow, if we lose it tomorrow, Keith Andrews, next Spurs manager.
Whereas if we win, and a couple of other things go our way, we can then end up, 19, 20, 21, 22 goal different. We can end up to maybe 6th.
Yeah.
There is a small gap between the top.
It's a very tight league this year. Apart from Arsenal, it's a very tight league.
Yeah, it is a tight league. But again, if this goes wrong tomorrow, I'm definitely going to have serious questions, and I think there's going to be more out there that have got more than serious questions. So, Dave, what has he got to do tomorrow apart from win the fucking game? We know that.
Yeah, I was about to say,
a draw is acceptable. I don't think a draw is acceptable for this one.
Obviously, similar to the Fulham at home, you should be winning these games. But similar to the Fulham at home, these are the tricky kind of games for teams like Spurs, because
no game is easy.
No, but they're sort of local London derbies without the sort of ferociousness of the Chelseas and Arsenal derbies. But they're kind of they mean a little bit more than, say, if Brentford are going away to Villa, Fulham are going away to Villa. You know, that kind of, it means a little bit more to them. So they are tricky games. They're not easy. They're not walkovers. But regardless of that, we should be winning these games of football, even for our aims of finishing in the top half, like European League positions, so whatever competition it is irrelevant. But if you're going for Europe, you should be winning these games. In terms of, like, to answer your actual original question and go back to what actually the title of this show was about, the tactics. So tomorrow, I mean, for one, we should not be seeing three at the back tomorrow, because that's a signal that we're going to be soaking up pressure. And you know me, I don't mind the three at the back down. We've had many conversations about that. Mm-hmm. Tomorrow, tactically, there is no need for three at the back. It should be four at the back. In terms of holding midfielders, you know what we touched on about Polina, who should be beside Polina. Tomorrow's not that game either, because I think this is a game you only need one holding midfielder, one defensive sole-focused minded defensive midfielder in there, because we're going to have more of the ball than Brentford. We're going to be dominating more. We don't need two players out of the three in midfield to be defensive-minded. We need one, and then we need someone who does a bit of both, up and down legs. But we also want... This is a game where Xavi Simons, for example, could come into his own, where he plays in a number 10 role, and he's got far more freedom than he otherwise would do, say, if we're going away to Liverpool, going away to Arsenal, for example. This is the game where he can come and shine in. Or, and it was said in the comments earlier, and I said to you this, Dan, when we done that show when Kudos was first signed, I wasn't over happy about it. Like, I thought he's okay as a player, but he's not that great. But I also said on that show that I think he's a better number 10 than he is a right winger. So go a little bit rogue, Xavi Simons or Kudos in that 10, someone that sits there, get the ball and create, because we're going to have most of the ball tomorrow. And then obviously the wingers, we've got crap wingers, but regardless of who they are, two wingers on the outside, getting out wide, whipping the ball in, and then you need a striker up top that can put the goal.
Well, that's
away.
where Kudos will be. Kudos will be out wide.
Yeah, Kudos is the most.
Simmons is,
listen, I know
it's the 10, isn't it?
Yeah, you probably have to compromise and go with that. But the thing with Kudos is the right winger, right? He's the most predictable right winger I've ever seen in my entire life, because I guarantee you he's never once put a first time cross in.
I think Kulusevski was more predictable on the side than Kudos.
It's quite it's quite similar, but at least Kulusevski can take a player on. Kudos must be one of the slowest wingers we've ever had as well, but he always cuts back. Cuts back. Now he may cut back only once and then cross it, or he might do it twice. He might do it 3 times, but he always cuts back at least once. He's the most predictable winger going. That being said, you're probably right. Simons in the middle, Kudos on the right. I'm just saying, generally speaking, I think Kudos is an option as number 10. Particularly, I'm just saying, like, historically, I said this, he can play as number 10. But yeah, we'll probably go Kudos on the right. And then if we are going Kudos on the right, then we need pace on the left, because then we've got no pace in a team if Kudos is playing on the right. But that's, so essentially it's a 4-2-3-1, but the two holding midfielders, I don't think need to be defensive minded. One of them does, but the other one has to have license to get up and support. So then we create an overload in that midfield offensively.
So then it's going to be Bergvall, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Play Bergvall as a holding midfielder, but tell Bergvall you've got license to get forward, because he's got the engine to get up and down. So, but regardless of who it is, I don't want two defensive midfielders in there. I want one to do the defensive job. Yeah, exactly. So it's almost like a 4-1-4-1 if I was playing it, to sit there and go, right, just have that one bit of protection in front of the back four. And by the way, I forgot the fullbacks. They should be up, getting the crosses in as well, overlapping, getting the crosses in, because we will be attacking more than we will be defending, in theory, tomorrow. If we find ourselves defending more than we're attacking tomorrow, then that's a fucking shit show in itself. But that's how I see it from a tactical perspective to win the game.
Do you think...
Ask me what Thomas... Sorry, just finish quickly. If you ask me what Thomas Frank will do tomorrow, obviously I don't know until, because he constantly changes it, but his starting 11 will either confirm what I've just said or he goes a completely different way, and that would be a bit worrying unless he's gone a different way, more attacking. But I'm doubtful.
Do you
with that.
think,
Yeah.
because we're that poor on the left, I mean, we do the 4-2-3-1 as such, which I think it is going to be. It's just who's going to play alongside Paulinho, I think. It wouldn't surprise me if he does stick Bentancur there. I mean, in that aspect, he is our most progressive passer, not by far, but it just shows how bad the midfield is passing forward. Now, if you want someone running forward, you either stick Sarr or bloody or Bergvall there. I mean, for me, the question I've got, I mean, I'd stick Simons as the 10 because we need some creativity there, and this might be a game where he can actually come out of himself as such. Maybe come out the fucking closet might help. And do you think we could stick Mwane on the left and go for Richarlison up front? Now, I'm not saying Richarlison you'll get anything delivered, but I think Mwane, he's played it enough time, it could be more capable of bringing something over from the left and cutting in, basically.
Listen, if we get crosses in the box, particularly with the wingers and the overlapping fullbacks, then Richarlison's not the worst option going, because at the end of the day, he's our only fit striker as well. I mean, Mwane, you could class as a striker maybe, but if you play him out on the left, I'm not like against that either. But just touching before I pass over to Ben, to reply, it was you said about Paulinho as the holding midfielder. How about be brave and have someone say like Bentancur as the holding midfielder tomorrow, because we don't need to be ultra defensive. Bentancur at least is a better passer than Paulinho, so he does the defensive work, but he can also pass the ball a bit better than Paulinho. I don't think we need a Paulinho tomorrow. Paulinho is like a go away to Liverpool, go away to Arsenal. Then I would have Paulinho in the team as that extra defensive player, but I don't think we need to be that extra defensive tomorrow. We need to be at home on the front foot, attack. But yeah, Benji, sorry.
I've already had my say, mate. And the only thing is for me with Paulinho, I think if you do play him, you're then sort of solidifying the attack because you're saying, right, the rest of you get up the pitch, and Paulinho, you just sit back, fucking and sweep up.
Very valid point. If you've got 4 attacking midfielders plus the striker, then you can have Paulinho as the only.
Yeah, this is the sweeper.
I totally agree.
But again, I get your point, and we did do that. Did we do that against Fulham, where Bentancur was the CDM?
Yeah. Was it Fulham or another? We have played Bentancur. Look, this is one thing I told everybody for ages. Bentancur he's a cross. He's a DM and a deep line playmaker.
I'm sick of this. Stop it. He is not a fucking deep line playmaker. Would you cut that shit out? He's not.
Did you ever watch him play at Juventus?
I did, and he wasn't that great.
Well, you obviously didn't watch him many fucking times.
He wasn't that great. I wouldn't have sold the fucking guy.
But that is where he played.
Yeah, well, he don't fucking do it for Tottenham. He's dog shit.
Because they don't play in that fucking way. That's why.
Oh, fucking hell. He's not a deep line playmaker, Dan.
Get Glenn Hoddle back in. Do the Christmas tree.
Fucking shocking. All right?
That is how he always played. That is how he always played. And he
is almost progressive passer. I've seen better progressive passes.
In that last game, yeah, everyone says Romero had a good game, yeah? Who covered Romero's ass 3 times in that first half that could have easily conceded us a goal?
That's nothing to do with being a deep line playmaker, though, is it?
No, but I'm saying there's like people grill Bentancur left, right, and centre. I'm just telling you how he plays.
No. Bentancur is a decent player. Again, if I come across like I'm grilling the guy, I'm really not. I just don't think he's any sort of deep line playmaker. I think I can think of a number of games this season that I've seen, like, well, I say a number, 2 or 3 games where I thought he was fucking sublime against PSG in that Super Cup. Good Lord, he was a superstar in that game for me. I've heard you say he's a deep line playmaker a number of times. You could have fucking fooled me, mate, because I don't see it.
I'm just saying how he used to play.
And the thing is, you can say you can reel off the stat. Oh, he's our best, progressive passer.
That shows how bad we are.
No, it does.
Who do I go and put there then? Archie fucking
Gray. Do you know what? I'm not even sure he is our best progressive passer, isn't it? Fucking Romero.
Well, it's probably one of the defenders,
midfield.
I think it's
midfield.
Romero.
No, midfield.
Oh, midfield. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, fair play.
He's actually our most forward passing player.
Yeah, that's
bad.
Crazy.
But all I say is the way he used to play at Juventus, because he didn't play out and out DM there either. Yeah, but he used to always sit deep.
But again, you get a lot more time in Serie A. A lot more time.
I'll go with
I was just thinking in the background there, you said about Serie A. And obviously, let's not forget, he had a really bad injury, and I don't think he's been the same physically since that.
No, I
injury.
do think that fucked
more
him.
mobile.
I do think that injury fucked him up quite nicely.
But I also think I think Bentancur's better for us when we play in Europe. Like that style of football is probably more suited to him than the Premier League. I think the physicality and the pace of the game in the Premier League it doesn't help Bentancur, and I think he has his better games for us in Europe because of that fact. He's a bit more cultured, isn't he?
I've had people say we should
dirty bastard for Uruguay. By the way, have you ever seen him play for Uruguay? He's a dirty bastard.
He is. I mean, saying that Archie Gray is a better passer than Bentancur. When? What has Archie Gray ever done in midfield? Bar have a good 45 minutes by his caliber. And yes, that cross he put over at PSG was good. But apart from that, if you actually look at his stats, his passing was fucking awful.
Do you know what? All right, I'm going to. I can understand why he's saying that because I feel the same way about Bergvall. Believe it or not, I've seen crossfield passes, crossfield forward passes from both Gray and Bergvall, and in all honesty, Dan, I can't remember Bentancur doing that once. No, I can't. So I think that's why they're saying that. Maybe
he has been. We've been better when we've had Bentancur than we've had fucking Gray.
No doubt. Yeah. I'm not disagreeing, brother.
I mean, this is the situation we're in. I'm not even saying Bentancur's a quality player. I think he's good. I think he's a squad player, yeah, or should be a squad player. And on his day, he's terrible, and on his day, he's good. He has had some good games for us. He does a bit of the dirty work that gets missed out. Like, not many people brought up the point that he covered Romero,
for sure,
who people said had an excellent game against Newcastle. No, he fucking didn't. 2 goals, brilliant. First half was, second half, good. First half, he was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I think it was nearly 4 times he had to get covered. Once by once by Danzo, and 3 times by Bentancur, if I remember right. Or was it? Either way, he got covered at least 3 times in that first half. Yeah.
No, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I do rate
Bentancur isn't as bad as how people say. Yeah.
No, he's not. But again, he's another one that's inconsistent.
I mean, I'm not saying Romero wasn't all right against Newcastle. He was all right, and he scored them goals for us. But he didn't have a fucking great game in the first half. He nearly cost us 3 goals in the first half. He nearly cost us 3 bloody goals. Bentancur saved his arse at least twice, and so did Danzo of 3 opportunities that could have easily cost us a goal.
Yeah.
And that's all I'm saying with that. I mean, yes, his header was excellent, and second half was better, same as most of the team. But first half, he did not have a good fucking game of football overall, not in my opinion. I'm sorry, rescuing with a goal and that doesn't mean you've had a good game unless you're a bloody striker. But he did rescue us, and he is inconsistent, basically, though, in midfield. So who do we start alongside? So you're saying don't even start Paulinho, basically. Start Bentancur and someone else because Bentancur is a bit more progressive than Paulinho, you're basically saying.
No, I made that comment because it's a more attacking move. But Benji is right in what he said is if you have Paulinho in there and then 4 out-and-out attacking players in front of him, then Paulinho is better to have in there as that insurance. So I'm happy either or on that. My Bentancur comment was on the basis that one of the other midfielders would be more box to box. But if we can actually play with 2 10s tomorrow and have Paulinho in there, so I'd go with Benji's suggestion. But I think either or will work. We've just got to be attacking. But can I ask you a question? And it is it's sort of based on this, starting 11 for Brentford tomorrow, but it's more of a general one. And again, anyone on the chats, this is one for you guys to get involved with as well, right? So we've already spoken about how spoken about. I was
going to say, yeah.
Hell, mate.
What's that? You drinking in the background?
Hey.
Mate, that's dirty.
You're saying
it says fucking
right. So again, this isn't just for tomorrow specifically, but because we're talking about starting lineups and that, we've spoken about how bad our squad is in general. So this is about tomorrow, but also just generally speaking. And again, one for the people in the chat to get involved with. You can pick 3 players to improve our starting 11, both for tomorrow and going forward. One of them needs to be a former Spurs player. One of them.
Don't go into this shit.
One of them needs to be a current footballer for any other team. And the third one has to be a retired footballer from any club in the world that's ever played football in the past. Okay. So a former Spurs player, a current footballer that plays for another team, and then a former player that's ever to exist in the world of football to ever have played the game. What's the 3 players you would pick to put into our team now? And I'm asking this with the basis as well that don't just pick your 3 best players. Also think about what needs improving in the squad as well. Like in
Bale
R9, Bale R9, and Lamine Yamal. There you go. I'll take them 3.
There you go. So Gareth Bale, Lamine Yamal, and R9. What a starting front 3 that would be. Right? And do you know what? They would instantly make us not title challengers, but top 4 challengers. Just with them alone.
I think they would, to be fair. I think they fucking would. They're that good.
Yeah, because those players have got, I mean, fucking, if you look at Messi, for example, he fucking carried Argentina to a fucking final and fucking won it for them, basically. I get it, but to me, Dave, that's just... I could probably name half the 3/4 of the players that have ever played football that would improve this fucking team. It is, in some aspects, it is that bad.
So Benji's gone attacking, isn't he? He's gone out for the front 3. Basically, and I don't blame him for that as well. Our front 3 are poor compared to.
Okay, if you give me a choice, right? What's the option? One's got to be an ex-Spurs player, yeah.
Yep. One's got to be a current.
Bale goes bottom left.
Yeah, so current footballer as well. So as he is today. So for example, Messi's still playing, but you get Messi as he is now, not Messi.
Well, hold on, you never said that previously. That's not fucking fair.
Well, you didn't mention him anyway.
Okay.
But you didn't say like so currently playing at their prime.
Hang on.
Still playing.
No, still playing. So
as they are now.
Right. I'll go and get Bale. He could go on the top left for me, yeah?
Yeah.
That's my ex-Spurs player. Now you're telling me to just pick any ex-player that I want at that team, yeah?
That's ever played football before, yeah.
Okay. Figo. He goes on the right-hand side for me.
Okay.
Then what have I got?
Any current player today.
Current player, as they are now. So if you get Messi, you've got Messi of today, not Messi of the past.
Then I think I'll go and stick Haaland up front.
Yeah, fair enough.
Now imagine that. Gareth Bale, Figo, and Haaland up front.
Yeah. Versus Lamine Yamal, R9,
and Bale for me. Yeah.
No.
Oh my fucking God. Hold on a minute. Can I really leave out Ronaldinho? Can I really leave out Ronaldinho? Oh, goodness me.
Wait, does Ronaldinho fit into a Thomas Frank system?
Wait a minute. Hold on. Mate, maybe we can fiddle this around. Didn't Maradona play one game for us as a friendly or something?
He did, yeah. Ozzy RD is his testimonial, I believe.
Right. Yeah.
Fuck Gareth Bale.
And when you looked at him, you could see he was still fucking coked up.
Yeah.
Fuck me, what player?
Only difference in he's only got the money to get a packet now down the pub, not fucking some decent gear. He's fucking.
I mean, you could still have a prime Maradona. You just have to get rid of R9. That's your former player, isn't it?
No, I mean, no.
I have to get rid of Bale.
Said, Bale goes. I mean, you could argue putting Modric in there as well, but then again, he comes as more than But for me, I'd just go for out and out attack. Bale goes out on the left for me. As far as I'm concerned, I think a very, very underrated player in football as a whole is Figo. He hardly ever gets mentioned, and I think he's one of the best right wingers there's ever been, in my opinion. And then, if it goes by a striker today that I need, I don't even think Mbappe is a good striker.
Well, hold on. Who would you actually? I've got to ask this, boys. Who would you actually want? I was going to really, really quickly.
Well, my ones. I'll answer that.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
Bale or Harry Kane?
Well, neither of you said Harry Kane. You both went Gareth Bale.
No, we didn't.
I mean, you ain't even asked mine yet, so I could change that.
Sorry, go on. What's yours?
Dan, can you bring up Rob Spurs' comment? Is the next one. I don't think they got the idea of the game right. So Kane, Modric, and then he's gone Chiesa, 10 mil. When I said current player, like it's not about transfers. It's like any player that's playing football at the moment. He's
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah, no. Do you know
That's a
what?
good-
I take the Haaland bit back because I'm going to get enough pace off Bale and Figo, and I'll stick Kane in the middle.
Yeah, fair play.
Because personally, again, I think Kane is a better all-round player
Yes, he
than
is.
Haaland. Haaland is excellent at what he does, but I think Kane is a better all-round player.
You wouldn't have to worry about that playmaking, would you? Really?
He can
It's
fucking
interesting
feed
that you
can
both
feed
gone
himself, can't he?
You've both gone for the front three, and to be honest with you, both of yours are probably better than mine overall. I was thinking more spine of the team. You've gone for the front three at top to get the goals.
Because that's where I feel we're weakest.
Yeah, so mine would be Pat Jennings, the goalkeeper. That's my former Spurs player.
Okay.
I'm going with Harry Kane, current player.
Okay.
Technically,
Well,
and former player to ever exist in Gaza. So 3 former Spurs players.
Oh, fair enough. Do you know what?
And
Anything on there
through
is a
the
good
middle.
shout. I mean, you could go into that one. I mean, another. If you want to get me to pick another player, this goes more out of maybe not the best.
But my one, Dan, I went through
favourite.
the middle. The goalkeeper, which I think we can improve on. I know Vicario is not the biggest problem, but if you've got, and Pat Jennings was one of the world's best ever goalkeepers at his time. Pat Jennings in goal, bang. He had the biggest hands known to man. Apart from the one season he had at Arsenal, he was shit there, thank God. Proper Spurs. Then you think the lack of creativity we got, Gaza in midfield. I mean, come on.
Yes.
What a genius that boy was.
That's where I'd rely on the creativity out wide, because a lot of people seem to think that you have to have creativity in the middle. No, you don't. There's been many a team.
I think
when you've got world-class players on the wing, you ain't got to worry too much of it. Just give it to them.
You can have playmaker. What do you think Ronaldinho was?
Yeah. Oh my God! What a fucking! I can't believe he wasn't in my. Oh my goodness!
I mean, if you're going to give me a striker, an all-time striker that I would have up there, and this is just out of one I've always had, a better shooter. I mean, fuck me, one of the most underrated players ever as well. But the thing is, with better shooter, when he was around, there was fucking so many strikers around at the same time as well. Now, this is what I mean by football has dropped so fucking far.
Yeah.
You give me world-class players now, and they just don't even lace the boots of players 20 odd years ago. I mean, another player for me that I mean, if I've got to pick a midfielder for that team, I know who I go by personal opinion. Another one that I always love, Pirello. Go stick fucking Pirello in the middle next to Paulinho.
Do you mean
something
Pirlo?
like that? Pirlo, yeah. Pirlo.
Oh, Pirlo. Who the fuck is that?
Pirlo, that's
Pirlo. Rolls Royce.
I thought that's what you meant. Yeah, I like Sean DeBoss's choices are pretty decent as well. He's gone, whoever gone, Roy Keane, Gaza, and Ozyman. So obviously Ozyman, the current striker, I think he's actually someone that we should be looking at as well. You know, like,
but we ain't gonna play his wages.
We might do now, but he plays for Galatasaray. It's not like we're stealing him from Real Madrid.
No, but he's on he's on 400 grand a fucking week there, and that ain't happening. It just ain't happening.
He's really?
He's gone from midfield of Roy Keane and Gaza. You imagine them two in midfield. What a midfield! You could play 4-4-2 then as well, couldn't you? Roy Keane and Gaza.
I mean, with some, I mean, like again, give me if it goes by. I mean, there's players out there I prefer to other players, but I know the other players are better. But I think everyone's got their favourite players, isn't it? It also comes down to how you like playing football. I mean, if you go and give me a defender, personal opinion again, and he never gets mentioned. I don't think there's been many better defenders out there than Lilian Thuram.
Fellas, what is 15 million net per season?
Net.
Has anyone got an idea what that would be weekly?
I get what you're saying now.
2 weeks, and it's about.
That doesn't seem like a lot, is it? Or am I fucking crazy?
It's 1.3 million a month.
Yeah.
So divide that by 4. So it's about 400.
So it works out about 300 grand or whatever.
That's quite a lot of money, isn't it?
I mean, and now Scott, if you can't sit here and tell me Roy Keane was a good player, seriously, mate, he fucking carried Man U many a time.
Imagine, and not just his footballing ability. Imagine him in a changing room for this, and he's a Spurs fan as well. Imagine him.
Didn't he?
He's exactly what we need in this squad now because of his mentality as well. So I think that's a great shirt, to be fair. Roy Keane on that. because I think he's what we're lacking.
I mean, what's been guys saying here? Feminine social media propaganda ruined football big time. Seriously, football is contact sport. Players can't. Mate, do you know what? I'll make you right there. And it didn't just ruin football, mate. It ruined life. If you really want to get technical, mate, it ruined life.
You've opened a can of worms here, mate. Well done, son.
It ruined life, mate. I agree with what you're saying on the football side. I mean, the fact that you fucking see teenagers sitting there like boys and that instead of going out fucking.
You're right
doing
the first
their fucking
time.
nails and that. The world has got too feminine these days. I totally agree, mate. Far too feminine. Not just football, it's the world. I think woke is the example you want to use. But that's a different story. I mean, mind you, at Spurs, we do have our rainbow flags there still, don't we? So you can say we're part of the system as such to an extent.
Right.
But right, last question I'll ask.
Big up to our LGBTQ community. Big them up.
Fuck off, mate. If any community, don't even get me going.
Dan is a massive fan, by the way, guys, and a huge support of the LGBTQ community.
Yeah, big time.
There's no one that represents them better, seriously.
Yeah, I mean, if I wanted to make this a political show, I'd have to start up a different channel because I'd get this one blocked with some of my fucking opinions. But like I said, do you know what? At the end of the day, be what you want to be. Get the fuck on with it. Just play the football. That's all I care.
Sure.
You know, if he wants to fuck off and go be a cat, go be a cat. I don't care.
Yes, Brennan Johnson, he's talking about you.
But in that aspect, it's just play the fucking football is all I give a fuck about these days.
Exactly.
So what do you two reckon the score's going to be?
You put the ball in the back of the net, we'll all love you.
Exactly. I mean, do I believe that Brendan Johnson? I mean, fucking hell. I mean, what's he done? He's gone and got himself a brass off bloody OnlyFans or something, isn't he?
What's her name? Is it Lily something? Lily Phillips?
I don't know.
He got seen with that Bonnie Blue, weren't it? But then Bonnie Blue's parents phoned her up and said it's absolutely disgraceful that you've been seen with a Spurs player.
Fucking Bonnie Blue, mate.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
I'm only joking, by the way, Brendan Johnson. Don't sue me.
To be fair, if you put Bonnie Blue up front, she's not bad at getting balls in, fellas. Maybe she'd do better as a striker for us than fucking Richarlison.
Oh, mate, she wouldn't be able to deliver no balls. They'd fucking get stuck inside it, for fuck's sake. But again, that's a different story. I mean, there's definitely enough space down there.
Stick her in goal. She's good at catching things.
Yeah, without a doubt, mate. But so what do you reckon the score's going to be tomorrow?
Right, I'll be super positive here, boys. I'm predicting a 3-0 win.
It just depends what she catches, isn't it, Dave? The amount of balls she catches, she's definitely going to catch something, isn't it?
I hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil.
As it go, like herpes. Go on, Ben.
I'm going for a 3-0 win.
Or would it be gonorrhea? It'd be one of them. But you reckon we get a 3-0 win?
I do. Oh, we're back on the subject.
I thought you were talking about Brentford. 3-0 win.
I thought you were talking about Bonnie Blue again. Fuck it. No, I'm going for a positive result. I'm going for a 3-0. There we go.
Fucking, but she must be Bonnie Red Raw by now. I mean,
she's going to go on for a minute, guys. Fucking settle in.
I mean, like, truthfully, though. Wait,
that's what she says when she lies down.
I knew that was coming.
Probably needs a bit of Vaseline as well.
Oh, no. Oh, I doubt that, mate.
Isn't it? Oh, that fucking slut and all, that film. Do you know what? She earned a lot of money out of that. A lot of fucking money.
It just shows you
10-second thing.
You know, when you say that football's gone downhill like last sort of 10, 20 years, I always say to you, Dan, football is a representation of modern day society. Generally, like football is a representation of society. So they talk about the 80s being like the hooligan years. If you remember back in the country, there was a lot going on, like politically and unrest in the country, coal mines closing down, that kind of thing, a lot of civil unrest. And football today is a symbol of society in general, right? And football's getting worse and it's getting softer. It's getting more, don't boo him because you'll hurt his feelings. That's the same society.
I have to ask this. Is Lisa Davis your missus or something?
Not yet.
No, I think they've just got a thing going.
Anyway, my score predictions.
Baby oil works well. Fucking baby oil. That thing probably just needs a bit of fucking oil, mate, and a bit of fucking petrol. You
spit on that thing and shove it in easy.
moist.
This has really gone off fucking subject here, boys. Maybe we should get back on track. Fucking Christ.
I'm trying to get my score prediction out. I think it's going to be an awful game of football.
Well, if you're trying to score, mate, you should go and see Bonnie Blue.
Wait, the way my luck's going at the moment, I'll get turned down by her.
Oh, come on, man.
Dave,
I'm sure you got 20 quid.
Ladies,
in your
where you at?
pocket.
Give him some boost.
I'm sure you got 20 quid in your pocket, surely.
Yeah, I'll go and give her the keys later. Let herself out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I reckon a 1-1 turgid draw. I don't think it's going to be a great game of football. I think Brentford, well organised, but they're not going to come and try and attack. So I think it's going to be a 1-1 draw. Not going to be the greatest of games, and I think the fans are going to be a bit unrestful tomorrow as well, which isn't good, but that's what I think will happen. Obviously, I want us to smash them 17-0, but...
Yeah, but is that likely? I mean, if I'm just going to be totally honest, with the way we've played at home and the way I've seen things, I can see a 2-1 defeat from Brentford. I can see them scoring the first goal, us going into major meltdown as the fans, total panic attack by a lot of the weak-minded players, and then they score another, and then we get one, and then basically just can't fucking get up to the draw. I can honestly see a 2-1 from Brentford out of this one because we have been that bad at home. And that's trying not to be negative, but I'm just being honest about how I've seen us play at home. Now, if we was away, I would say we got a better chance. And usually you want to be at home, but I ain't looking forward to it.
Positivity, fellas, positivity. Come
No,
on.
that's Bonnie. we was already talking about that.
I can fucking tell you that much.
Exactly. We was already talking about that. Anyway, right. I'm going to leave it at that because I want to finish my drink and have something to eat as well. Thanks for everyone for watching. Appreciated. Thanks for you two coming on and D-Trix. After this, who's on? Right. After this, if you can handle it, I'm going to send you over to Spurs Diehards TV. At least go on there and just say Hotspur Hood raid or whatever else and that, and then watch it or leave it, do what you want. But at least just say raid on there.
All right, no, whoa. Do Bonnie Blue raid.
No, fucking Bonnie Blue raid. Shit.
It'll confuse the hell out of them.
Yeah, I doubt you get a Twitch either. It's a different age caliber there. But so when it comes down to that, thanks for everyone for watching. Appreciated. And well, let's just hope we can get a fucking result tomorrow, because if we don't, he's on thin ice. Anyway, everyone, have a good night. Take care. See you later.
Take it down. Give it to me like I'm the time to open it, I'm gonna take it down. That. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. I'ma turn it up and then I'm gonna take it down. Give it to me like